Yep.
That's why we have a mute button.
That was the air horn. Time to start.
I do have an air horn.
No.
I can open up the podcast by just slamming the motherfucker into me.
No. Please no.
Or I'll have to retaliate with this Vuvuzuela.
I don't think I've ever actually heard somebody say that word.
Vuvuzela?
Venezuela?
Really?
Like.
Were you not watching the World Cup in 2006?
No, I just saw the memes.
Or not 2006, 2010.
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I know what you mean. I just saw the memes.
Oh, okay. I remember watching that World Cup. It was miserable because of the Vuvuzelas.
No, it's like being a wrestling fan in the early 2000s and what, you know.
I mean, they still do that, so yes.
It's not so bad anymore.
It's not as bad as
it depends on the show.
I know. It used to be a lot worse. I know.
And it's like when New Day started doing who? I was like, no, please stop.
No, you know what's going to happen. You've been there.
Yeah.
You are wrestling fans. Actually,
I started it.
Gridlock.
What?
Nothing.
I get it.
Before you were born.
I get it, but I ain't laughing.
All right, we've called the masses.
Our regular weekly podcast.
Yes.
Our
Uninterrupted since
regular
very inception.
weekly podcast
with daily content.
Yes.
Daily content.
Weekly.
Weekly. Daily
Monetize
content.
those teens.
It's .com. It's .net.
Are we live?
Yeah. Some plies.
Yeah.
We're totally live.
Are we?
Hi.
Some pies, motherfucker. Hello.
Hello.
Here.
Penis. No, stop it. Hello, everybody.
Save that for the after show.
Brennan here. Yeah, that's right. We got the after show.
VGZ at night.
After dark.
As opposed to during the day. You don't want to see us during the day.
No, you don't.
Hello, everybody. Brennan here. And how about a podcast?
Never heard of it.
Welcome to season 4. Yes, we broke this out into seasons arbitrarily. Episode 1. The VGZ podcast for September 23rd, 2018. I am Brennan, and I am joined this evening by a very large collective of individuals that aren't necessarily large themselves, but the collective is large. You get what
I'm pretty big.
I'm large in places.
I'm getting smaller.
I have size 15 shoes.
By
It's
the
getting
section.
smaller as we speak.
He's getting smaller as we speak, yes. Of people. There's actually a pretty big turnout for this first podcast back. I'll just go from top to bottom. First of all, we have Cali.
I'm playing Pokemon Go as we do this.
Oh, okay,
That
that's
was
cool.
more of a bottom.
Whatever. Deadpool.
Yo, what up? Just jumping into Portal 2 for the first time in 16 years.
Oh, jeez. Chibi, who is the newest member of the staff.
But if you look back, I have been referenced in quite a few podcasts. Mostly
You have.
Damn it, Chibi.
Yeah, mostly, damn it. Yeah, that's usually where we go.
The extended lore.
We are also starring Rook.
Who let me in here, and who are these people?
I don't know how you came in here. I don't even know why. I
I
don't
am your
really
father.
lock the doors.
Jesus,
Change the
damn it!
locks. And
I
finally,
snuck in the window.
the youngest member of VGC staff.
Yes.
Sorry, that was a bad joke. Even though it might still be true.
It's not like any of you are de-aged.
I mean, you're not wrong. TeaTime, who is also being nice and streaming for us as well. So thank you for that, TeaTime. Much
Yeah,
appreciated.
no problem.
And I am, of course, Brennan. I know I said that at the beginning, but I wanted to be at the end as well.
Who?
No creative name ideas this week. That might be next week.
No, I came up with a title card, and I want to get it out there. I said Telltale dies so that we may live.
Hold on.
Because it was
I can-
very
No,
good
no.
timing.
I can put it up on the,
No,
on the thing.
I didn't
I like
mean,
this is not a comeback a little more.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean the name of the episode, because the name of the episode is "Don't Call It a Comeback." Telltale died, so we may come back to be, or whatever the title was.
Oh,
On
that went from bad to worse.
Yes.
Whatever. Anyways, so yeah, so thank you all for joining us. And I guess let's just get right into it. What's everybody been playing recently?
Oh, jeez.
I'm just gonna continue to go from top to bottom tonight. Maybe another night I'll randomize it. Cali, I said you're saying you're playing Pokemon Go right now. What else are you playing?
Well, Super Bomberman R was free to play this weekend. I tried that, and I still don't like Bomberman that much. And it's even worse because it has a story mode involving like every single anime trope in existence.
Yeah.
But also, I can play as Reiko from Rumble Roses, so I'm like weirdly intrigued.
Yeah, that game is.
It's Reiko
great.
and Xavier Woods and Vic Viper.
Yes.
Yep.
And Jehudi from Zone of the Enders. I don't know.
Yep.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
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 And
You
Anubis.
piqued my interest.
And Anubis, and then both Solid and Naked Snake.
Wait, what game?
Super
So
Bomberman
Bomberman.
R, the one that like
Oh, okay.
launched with the Switch, and then they put it out.
Oh yeah,
on,
I saw that.
They put it out. On
Oh,
phone.
okay. Yeah, sorry. I thought you were talking about a fighting game for a second there.
Yeah, I thought this was on some weird like Fire Pro Wrestling like mod set or something.
No. It's just like a lot of weird guest characters, like just every Konami property they have. Like there's a couple poppin' music characters in there, and I'm just like, what? Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's an eclectic game. Unfortunately, it is not the Bomberman we all were hoping for people who actually like Bomberman.
I've never been into Bomberman that much. Every version I play, I'm like, yeah, no, this is still that. I just don't enjoy it that much. I don't know.
You and Jeff.
Don't.
Yeah,
Would we at least consider it better than Act Zero?
Well, I don't think anything could be worse than X-Zero.
Okay, then we're
What do you
okay.
mean? Act Zero's the best.
Get out.
Anyways,
I've also been playing this mobile game called Hook. Like, it was one of those like random, hey, this is free right now, mobile games, and it's a pretty neat puzzle game. It's just like figure out which one of these sticks you need to pull out first, and it gets more complicated as you get further into it. It's just called Hook. It's pretty good. I don't know.
I was gonna make a joke as if it was based on the Robin Williams movie of the same name. Hook.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I wanted to let that hang.
See, that's why I didn't
wanted to leave
make the joke. That's why I didn't make that joke, because I knew it was going to go over like a lead balloon.
We
It's
didn't.
Spring Rust.
We didn't
We're
get
okay.
hooked.
You didn't get hooked in my joke.
that. No.
Deadpool. I'm gonna just move right along. Deadpool. What have you been playing?
Lots of Destiny 2. Wow.
You want to?
I did not-
A little bit?
Sorry. Can adjust that. Anyways.
Okay.
Yeah, lots of Destiny 2 lately. It's kind of absorbed me a lot. They made it a good game again. That's a whole other thing of what the fuck are they doing? Why are they doing it this way? Why didn't they learn? Don't buy Destiny 3 is what I should say. Like, that's my biggest thing. A lot of Pokemon Go. I'm very happy that everybody on VGZ has added me. Thank you for that, by the way, because I can send gifts like you fuckers have been
Yeah,
getting.
you
that, like,
work
crazy.
at a stop. You
Mm-hmm.
asshole.
Yeah. No, I appreciate the.
Everyone at my work also plays, so that made that really easy. I got Minute. I've been playing that.
That's a good
I
game.
actually been enjoying Minute a lot more than I thought I would, because there's been a lot of games that VGZ's been saying like, buy this and enjoy it, and I play it and I'm like, I fucking hate this. But Minute is not that game. Minute is great. I bought Undertale for the 5th time, and Okami for the 6th. So at some point I'll finish those games.
You've
Deadpool
never
fans?
finished them?
No.
Okami is a
fuck?
long game. Okami is a very long game. Way
I'm
longer
currently
than you
playing
would
it right
think.
now.
I
Deadpool,
enjoy.
Can I ask you a question
Yeah.
about Minute? I hear because of the way the death mechanics work in that game, a lot of people have like dropped it like pretty fast. What's your opinion?
No, and I'm usually the first person who hates that shit.
It's a gimmick, but it is a gimmick that works extremely well.
Once you figure out that there are save points that then you can change where you're dying and resetting to,
Mhm.
that's not a problem anymore. You just don't you now have like, it's kind of like thinking of like old StarCraft maps. Like you don't
Yeah.
get upset when, oh, I can't go back to this level because you're on a new level. You know, it's kind of like, it's like kind of like a Metroid game in a way, where it's like, you know, you have to transition between levels to go to different areas, but you're stuck within that level in that loading screen. You know, so Minute's kind of like that, but you only have a set amount of time, and then it's like. There's a lot of clever stuff that they do with it, and I usually hate that shit. But with Minute, it's cute, and it's not $60. It's $10.
The
so,
music
like,
is killer, also.
yeah, that too. So yeah, that's it. Pokemon Go, Destiny 2, and Minute, and Warframe does not have the new expansion yet, and I'm pissed. And I have basically stopped playing it. So
Fair. Okay, moving on. Chibi.
Can I talk about a game real quick? Just
you
moved on from me.
Okay, we're going early.
I just
Fuck the order.
I want to talk about a dumb game I started playing for a stupid reason. Called 3-on-3 Freestyle. It is a street basketball game, and the only reason I am playing it is because you can play as this pinup girl named Lulu, who has thick thighs and dark lipstick, and I've never had a game cater so specifically to my fetish. But also, I'm just using this girl to slam dunk over fools, so, like... that's all I wanted to say. It's still, like, one of those free-to-play games, and it, like... it's fine, but it's also extremely broken on the Xbox, and they even have a thing on the front menu that's just like, yeah, we know we're working on it. But it's a neat game. It's... If you like that sort of arcade NBA Jam shit, then 3-on-3 Freestyle is pretty alright, actually.
And you like
Was
your
it on?
big-tittied goth GF.
Pinup, there's a difference.
What is it on?
It's been on PC forever, but it just came to Xbox.
what is it called?
3-on-3 Freestyle.
I'll have to give it a look because I love me some.
It's
good
on
NBA
everything.
Jam.
I mean, it's not too waifu-ish.
No, it's not. It's full of like.
I feel like that's a missed
Characters.
opportunity then. Like, if you're gonna go that way, just commit.
Just commit.
It looks
Go
like
on, go all in.
from what I'm looking at the characters,
That's
it
what-
looks like half NBA Jam, half like just.
Yeah, they're all
don't know.
caricatures, and but
Fuck
that's what I'm
that
saying.
SNK heroin shit. No,
Is there-
No,
Is there an-
it doesn't go full waifu, but like the one girl, you know, in there is specifically exactly what I like. So you know,
Is there an over the top announcer?
no.
Oh, okay. never
0 out of 10 banned.
Okay,
Never
yeah,
talking about it
Although
again.
you,
I'm
you
just gonna
can
go back to my NBA
you can give
TV.
signals to your teammates, just like each person has a pass it over here and over here.
The-
pass it
The
to
only
me.
reason Halo multiplayer ever was any good was that announcer. Sorry,
It's
it
like,
doesn't have that announcer.
That's a hot
Fucking
take,
trash.
sir.
Are you sure it's not?
I have words about that. but That's for another time.
Jesus. Wow. Okay.
I will stand by
Grenade
Warfare
boosting
and
a
SWAT.
sniper rifle into your hand.
Chibi, what have you been playing recently?
All
Let's
right,
move on.
so I have several games I play on the regular, like the online grind waster games. I've been hunting monsters pretty much nonstop since that game came out. Took us a decade, but we're here. We finally have a good one for PC. It's great.
What do you mean?
playing
Frontier's great.
Yeah. Playing Warframe, just leveling things, helping Requiem around. Not really doing much because again, new content is now, and we kind of went hard and did everything.
Oh, we did. Yeah, we grinded the shit out for Dark and
Yeah.
Requiem on that, and then it was like,
So-
okay, we're done.
I just drop in, get my daily, and peace out. Playing the Division, that game's still good, and they're ramping up for the sequel right now. More shields have unlocked, so there's content there. Oh, one of the new shields is survival mode, which not many people played, but I really like it. It's fun. Beyond that, yeah.
No, I restarted that a couple of months ago.
Oh.
When we were all talking about it, I haven't played it since, but it was
I'm-
definitely like a lot better than I remember.
It's
Yeah.
got, since release, it got very significantly better. I'll say that.
Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean, the one thing I remember is that when it came out, it was sort of like it had the same problem as Destiny, the exact same problems that
No
Destiny
endgame.
1 and then Destiny 2. No endgame.
Yeah,
So you got to the end of the game and you're like,
Yeah.
guess I can level another character. I don't really want to go. I mean, I could go PvP, but it's not fun.
No, the general feeling was always you play after they updated it. You play a single player campaign like that. You can play it by yourself or co-op with somebody. It's its own thing. And then when you finally hit 30 and you unlock the end game, then it's this whole different thing with all kinds of like stuff to do.
Do they still have the bullet sponging issues?
Not as much. It's significantly less damage to take guys down. Some bosses and higher tier characters are a little spongier, but you can there's certain abilities or headshots that you can use to bypass the majority of their armor. So it speeds it up.
All right.
Okay. Beyond that, I'm continuing my game of Neo. I started that way long ago, so that's fun. I've been streaming Okami. I took a break about 2 weeks ago, but I plan to continue streaming that in chunks. I'm only doing that on stream, so I don't, not gonna try to cheat on the sides. Just picked up Fist of North Star, the Ken's Rage version. I've been streaming that for the past few days. I hit my local GameStop. Apparently, there's one like a block from my work. And just on the laugh, I walked in to grab some stuff. I also got Chrome Hounds and some other stuff. I just tried Cryptarch, maybe 2 hours ago. It's neat, but I kind of I'm at a point where mostly because of the first games I mentioned, my time is kind of at a premium. So I don't know if I want to commit to something where I can just screw myself over and have to restart so much. Right. But that's on me. I just need to nut up. Play a little Company Heroes, a little Dark Souls, and a little Dead Souls. But that was, I'm just continuing. I will stream that again.
Ooh, Company Heroes. That's one name I haven't heard in a long time.
Oh, yeah, it's great. Better than the first one. I mean, the second one, sorry.
All right. Rook.
I've been keeping myself busy with a lot of tabletop stuff. Not a whole lot of time for video games. But that's probably a different topic for a different time. One video game I have been catching up on, Trials in Tainted Space. That is a really cool text adventure that everyone should try. Definitely recommended for children under the age of 18. I actually didn't say that. But no, they've made a lot of really cool fixes, added a lot of stuff. There's a lot of visual tweaks going in there. And yeah, Phenoxo is still releasing updates to that, which is nuts. I would not have dreamed that he'd be supporting it a couple of years later. But it's cool. It's fun. And that's basically the only video game I have time for. So that's what I'm doing.
I mean, you said you're doing a lot of tabletop stuff. I mean, you can
sure.
Those are games too. I didn't say specifically video games.
Some of my best friends are tabletop games.
Yeah, I'm playing with people, so yeah. A lot of Mobile Frame Zero. I just had actually the designers of Mobile Frame Zero up in town for a little while.
Nice.
And we played a game. That was excellent. Tanks by Gale Force 9. Been playing a lot of that. That's basically World of Tanks, but as a tabletop game. And
cool.
It's really neat. Yep. They're releasing a modern adaptation of that pretty soon. That's coming out in October, but I was playing the World War II version. But I will be getting the new stuff when that comes out.
Neat.
Playing Rogue Stars, which is like a competitive RPG that you play with 5 characters, and you compete against another team of 5 characters. Pretty neat. Aside from that, no, just that. A lot of work. Developing modules and expansions for all of the above, which is kind of what's really sinking my time.
Word. No, that's some cool stuff. And then T.
Yes.
Right now, I know you're playing Super Metroid Randomizer, right?
Oh, it's Super Metroid and Link to the Past. They smushed them together.
They smushed them together? I let it upstream for a second, and then I minimized it.
Oh, okay. Well, so it's Link to the Past and Super Metroid Randomizer, where you can get Zelda items in Super Metroid and Super Metroid items in Zelda. So and there are specific doors and stuff you can go into to swap games. The goal is to beat both games.
So you got peanut butter in my chocolate, is what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh, God.
No, you got chocolate in my peanut
It's hard.
Yeah.
It hurts my brain.
It seems like it would be mildly difficult, and I'm playing
I still don't have the morph ball.
Oh, God. That seems pretty miserable. That seems like an important thing that you kind of need.
And we'll be checking in throughout the podcast to see if he still hasn't gotten the morph ball.
Well, I might have gotten it. I'm going back into Metroid right now.
Okay. Cool. Well,
I did.
What,
Hooray.
anything
Yay.
else you've been playing?
Dragon Quest 11.
Dragon Quest. Yes.
That game's great.
That game is amazing. I haven't gotten. I've given it about a week. I had to do some other stuff. I did some other stuff this past week, but I need to get back to playing more Dragon Quest because Dragon Quest 11 is fantastic.
It's very good. It's very
Note
long.
is not on here. I just want to make a quick note of Dragon's Quest 11 was announced last night, or was it today?
It was like
That it's
early
coming
this
to Switch?
morning,
The Switch version.
Yeah.
Well, the Switch version was always.
It's assumed, yeah.
They just gave us a nice JPEG to look at.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. Sorry, that's it.
No,
And it was accompanied by the little note that said, "Hey, if this does well, we'll bring more of the series to the PC."
It did so well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's doing pretty well on PC, so I'm pretty excited to see the future of Dragon Quest on. PC.
I don't play those games. I enjoy those games. I will keep buying them games if that's what it takes for publishers to say, "Oh, people want this." Yes, I will throw money at you. Do it.
No, but it's good times. It's very long though. I mean, like in the post game,
Right.
and it's absolute hoot.
Yeah, that's why I unfortunately haven't been able to tune into any of your streams because I'm about to get the sixth character. I'm about to get the sixth character. So I need to not. I don't want. I mean, it's a Dragon Quest, so you're gonna beat the bad guy and win at the end of the
Yeah,
game.
the plot is the big bad go kill. Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious, but it's still like one of those things where you still like. I don't want to get spoiled in story pieces because they're fun and there's fun in there,
Oh no, there definitely are some very good like scenarios and set pieces that are totally worth not spoiling.
Yeah, definitely.
But other than that, it's just I've been playing nothing but that. I picked up a Hat in Time on sale when the DLC dropped because it was like $17.
That's a good game.
So I was like, sure, why not? $17, I can do worse.
Yeah.
So, but mostly just Dragon Quest. That game's been eating up all my free time.
Yeah, I beat Hat in Time. It's a very good 3D platformer. Also, I am not good at 3D platformers. So
Fair.
I really like it. They made the Hat Kid control very well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, Big L1 makes a mention that they are working on the unmod to put the orchestrated music back in the game.
Yeah, the problem with that is that the entire soundtrack isn't orchestrated, so some bits will still be in the MIDI style.
Yep. I mean, I don't think the MIDI style is that bad. I wish it was the orchestrated, but I don't think the MIDI style is that bad.
It's
I
not.
don't think it's that terrible.
It's not. It really isn't.
Sorry.
It's just the overworld theme is so just fucking bad.
Yeah,
It's so bad, and it plays for like 70 hours of this 90-hour game.
Yeah, and the battle music is better with the orchestra too.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, the shitty reason why we don't have it, that's why a lot of people are doing this.
Yeah, no, and that's fair.
The Japanese version didn't have it either. That's a misconception. The 3DS version orchestrated music, but Dragon Quest XI in Japan had the MIDI as well.
I mean, it shouldn't have, but it did.
Yeah, but my nostalgia. I love Dragon Quest 3.
Yeah.
Shut up, Japan.
Dragon Warrior.
Shut up.
Shut up, Japan.
Shut up,
You heard it here
Japan.
first, folks.
Shut up,
T
Japan.
puts you on notice. As for me, Dragon Quest is definitely in there. I need to get back to that hopefully this week. Earlier, I was playing some Civilization 6 because I'm excited for the upcoming Switch release that got announced. Which I don't know if we're going to talk about that or not. I don't think we are. I don't think that was in the topics of discussions.
it's a port.
I will pick that up. I will pick that up on the Switch because I actually think that one does play well on that form factor. What else? I've been soft bodying a lot of things recently, so I haven't been playing as much in the game front. It's been more like doing little things here and there related to it. I do want to get back to a stream of some variety. I do have some vinyl game streams that I do want to do because I have received some, but I am impatiently waiting for a couple of other records that should have been here already but have not been shipped yet. So kind of upset on that front. But I don't have a segue, so we're just going to start talking about this week's releases. That was my segue.
Okay.
He jumped on the Segway and went.
That's a pretty good segue.
So this week, actually, this is a good week to come back. There is quite a bit coming out this week. Couple of big titles, a couple of smaller titles, a couple of titles that people weren't necessarily expecting. I'll point out some highlights. So on the 25th, which is Tuesday, we have Valkyria Chronicles 4, which comes out on everything.
Nice.
Which is, I think, a lot of people are excited for. Anybody in here picking that one up?
A couple decent discounts on some game sites right now for it.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick it up eventually. I think I had a collector's edition on pre-order, but then I kind of canceled it because I have a lot of collector's editions on pre-order for different consoles and their games and such.
I'm not a huge fan of the series, but I only played 2. I imported it on my definitely PSP and played it in Japanese because I understand the language of Japanese. Yep.
Oh.
Definitely did not use custom firmware. Nope. Definitely imported it.
Oh, okay. I believe you.
That sounds legit.
As long as everything's legit.
Everything's on the up. Let's see. Otherwise, on the 25th.
Gundam Breaker finally comes to fucking PC.
On PC.
That's complete trash.
Yeah, I heard that was a bad one, though.
I am the fucking biggest goddamn Gundam fan here, probably, and I think that's a fucking piece of shit. Sadly, that was disappointing in so many ways. Goddamn. One and 2 were really not that bad, and then 3 was just like, fucking why? I can't even describe all the ways they fucked up that game. It's just.
Yeah, you try.
We gotta fill some time.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Also, this week starts a bunch of Switch games being released as well that were previously on other consoles. Stick of Truth comes out on the 25th as well. The Stick of Truth make for the Switch. Apparently, This Is the Police 2 is coming out on the 25th, which came out of nowhere. I didn't know the first one sold that well. I actually own it. I have yet to play it. I remember watching who streamed it. Somebody streamed it on our website.
Other than you?
I didn't stream it.
I didn't see anyone.
Yeah,
somebody
maybe
streamed
It
it.
might have been Cali.
Nope.
No.
That's
There we go.
not my kind of game.
I don't know who streamed it. Somebody streamed it though. I remember watching somebody. Maybe it was Q.
Brennan, this is an opportunity for you. Don't throw it away.
But I heard it was okay. There was some disappointment behind like some things not being as well executed. So curious to see what the second one will bring. Surprisingly, no detail on a PC release. Is my source wrong? Because all I see is PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. I'm Googling it real quick.
Maybe not at launch.
Is it already on Steam? Oh, it came out on Steam already.
Oh, okay.
It came out on Steam in July. This is
Yeah.
the console release now. Mostly
Jesus.
positive. 75% of positive reviews on Steam. So I guess they must have fixed some of the things with it. That is a THQ Nordic published joint.
Mhm.
So, but yeah. Other than that, let's see. Also this week, Killers 7 on PC.
Fuck yeah.
Like, seriously, what the...
No, also notable release. Let It Die on PC
Wait, really?
Yeah,
on
so
Wednesday.
that's
Yep.
pretty
I didn't
crazy.
hear about either of these.
Oh, Let It Die. I only know because of Cali.
You didn't hear about the Killer 7 debacle?
No.
The
like,
trailer, the initial trailer they used ripped from Dolphin. They didn't
Oh,
actually have
yeah.
a PC version going. They just Dolphin and recorded it.
Sweet.
I mean, that's what it just should be. It should just be Dolphin playing it.
That's
Right?
what I'm saying. Dolphin's one hell of an emulator.
Sorry, I had some periods in there.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh, never mind.
So,
no,
I
you-
was just
am
gonna
I
bring
gonna?
something up if I
Oh.
can.
Go ahead.
what?
This current,
Shit.
I'm not gonna say glut, but like all these announcements about like these really, really old Capcom games, like the Beat 'em Up Collection, Killer 7, all the other stuff that's coming out. In terms of your opinion, is this just finally time, or is this like a bottom of the barrel? We need something marketable right now.
I'm sure it's both.
Yeah, why not? Easy
Yeah,
cash grabs. I mean, fuck it.
If
Well,
you
the-
can throw it up on PC, you should. The PC will treat it well forever.
The Switch came out, and people want more games on the Switch.
Yeah, that's probably a fair way to put it. Because I mean, if you're going to port it to the Switch, you can port it to PC, and if you're going to port it to PC, you can port it to the Switch. It's pretty circular in logic, but
I'm super happy about it. These past few years, I've been like buying every single release on PC, going like Bayonetta, Vanquish, sure, I'll do it. Just bring me more, please.
What I really look forward to is a lot of these old games getting treatment with mods, which PC is uniquely able to do.
Yes, I think everybody.
What do you mean? Console can do mods too through the Bethesda claw.
Yeah, I will fucking fight you.
No, let's not talk about that. Instead, talk about having like the Cup of Noodles man in Final Fantasy 15 because we wanted to go full bore on Final Fantasy 15, so we'll just Cup of Noodles and Metal Gear and Solid Snake.
They're modding that game themselves without all this bullshit. They're putting all this stupid bullshit in Final Fantasy 15.
There will be nothing left to mod.
Nothing left to mod.
So what you're saying is we need to make Fallout 4 in Final Fantasy 15. Got it.
Speaking of interesting mods, Life is Strange 2.
Life is Strange 2. I don't know how that's a mod, but sure.
No, I'm just thinking about the internet.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
no.
Look,
that comes out. Comes out on every platform. I don't know what.
That's problematic. I never thought about that. Fuck. I've seen the stuff with the first Life is Strange characters. That's gonna be real problemac.
Just stop.
What?
Just stop.
Don't
no.
We don't need to talk about it. No.
Everyone knows that Source Filmmaker has been a boon to the internet.
Yeah, stop.
That's all.
Stop. Also coming out this week, apparently they're making a new Jagged Alliance game, and that's coming out this week.
What?
That's at least according to this website. I don't know if this website's right.
Is it for the original actual Jungle Alliance or that sequel they made like a bunch of years ago?
No, this is a quote unquote modern sequel to it.
Okay.
So, and apparently people are saying early reports says it's actually not bad.
Oh, nice.
Will launch on September 27th according to THQ Nordic. That's another THQ Nordic published joint. Also coming out later this week, in the latest part of this week, Dragon Ball FighterZ gets its Switch release.
Oh boy.
That's on the 28th. There's also a new Namco museum coming out on the Switch on the 28th.
I have a question. How many Namco Museum games have there been since PS1?
Yes.
Jeez. Well, there's the collection
do any
with
of
the
them
name.
Are any of them a first person like traveling through the museum?
No, none of them have replicated that. They stopped doing that towards the end of the original Namco museum.
Like that, I says.
No, I agree with you completely. I wish that they would do that again, but it costs money to do those things, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It costs a lot less money for them to put stuff in a wrapper.
You know, going back to that discussion of like, you know, Capcom releasing all their bullshit, like this beat 'em up collection that they just put out, it's pretty basic.
Kind of light on special stuff, yeah.
Light on special stuff. I don't necessarily think that. I think that they're charging not charging like full price or even like $30 to $20 game.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily think is like the worst thing ever. But I do agree that like it could have done with a little.
It's a lack of effort.
Yeah, it could have done with a little more effort.
Oh, yeah,
it's a discussion that I'd like to title "What is the worth of a game over a period of time?"
Well, I mean, it's a better effort than the Mega Man Legacy editions, where it was like they aren't even putting the entire fucking series into one game.
That pisses me off.
It's
Because they already did that on PS2.
But they focused a lot on making the emulators better, and like with the Legacy Collection, they did make a bunch of things in the Legacy Collection be better. Like I agree with what you're saying that they could have done better, but they also did some things new that were good. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, if you saw that Blue Bomber series on Giant Bomb, they at least like had like galleries and production stuff and like little ads and stuff in there for the Mega Man, at least the first part of Mega Man.
Okay, but like the PS2 version of this collection, the anniversary collection, like they had the first 8 games in there, plus like soccer and the fighting game, Power Battle. And,
yeah,
like
Power Battle.
I feel like it's not a fair trade, personally.
Yeah. Well, it's lower for cash grabs can be for cash grab. You know, it is what it is.
Yeah, but it's getting worse.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the problem.
No, I agree. This could be a discussion another time, though. Let's finish up with
Yeah.
what's coming out this week. Two more games. I didn't even know this was a game that was coming out. I'm actually kind of interested now. There's a game it's the Dakar Rally game for 2018, and it's a racing game. I know people don't care about racing games in our chat, but
It's a big old rally race.
it's Dakar Rally, and
Yeah.
the Dakar Rally is actually a really cool race. So it's kind of cool that there's a video game about it.
I think
Mhm.
you could do it in
Really
Forza, like 1 or 2 of them.
Yeah,
Full rally.
yeah, I think you're right. But I think it's kind of cool because it's actually the 40th anniversary of the Dakar Rally. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're doing like a race, and they're making a video game to go with it. So I think that's kind of neat. I don't think anybody will buy it here, but
No. Yeah.
Well, maybe,
I
who
might
knows?
pick it up at some point. I might pick it up at some point when it's on
I
sale.
picked a
on Steam or
Motorsport
something.
Manager. That's decent.
But then finally, the big release this week, not that anybody, once again, another game that I'm sure VGZ could give less about, but FIFA 19 comes out this week, which I'm actually excited about, mostly because they're
Monetizing.
the last two, so starting with FIFA 17, and then they did FIFA 18, and FIFA 19 is the conclusion of The Journey, which is their single player story mode.
The hero's journey.
Didn't
which
they
is-
do that with Madden as well?
There's
Like,
been
this year's was-
Madden did it. Madden has done it as well. They started last year. FIFA did it. Started 2 years ago. And like NBA 2K does it now. A lot of
NBA
companies have been
2K
doing
did
it.
it first
Yeah,
because of Spike Jones.
No, no.
Yes, Spike Lee joint.
Spike Rejoin, not Spike Jones.
Spike
but,
Jones
but
directed Fatboy Slim videos.
yes, but I actually really like it. I as somebody who I'm kind of a dork for that sort of stuff anyways. But the journey was actually like I actually need to buy 17 because I missed 17. I played 18, which had the journey part 2, which is actually really good. You play the story. Basically, the story you're playing of a kid who grew up in one of the impoverished areas of Britain, and you work your way up sort of into the Premier League of soccer, and it's actually really well done. There's a lot of really great like concepts and flair into it, and like the gameplay directly feeds into the story, which is cool. So I'm actually curious to see where the third one apparently takes place. It's going to have him actually, the main character actually like get into the World Cup, which is what they were going to do. I thought they were going to do it the last one, but they didn't, even though it was 18. But yeah, so that comes out this week as well. It's actually coming out on the Switch too, which apparently the Switch version apparently is, from what I heard, was decent. So, but yeah, that's rounding out September because we're actually at the end of September here. This is the last week of September. So I can wake you up.
Good riddance, I say.
Thanks, appreciate that, T.
And people are trying to dodge that big Red Dead Redemption window.
Yeah, let's not talk about October yet. But
I'm
October's a
surprised
clusterfuck.
that Cali didn't mention Life is Strange 2 at all.
We
He
talked
did.
about it.
Yeah,
Kind of.
we
We're
did.
gonna continue. I thought.
Oh
I thought-
God!
We kind of jumped off that ship. pretty
Alzheimer's
fast.
live.
Well, the
live on the podcast.
episode one comes out this week. I'm
Started
sure.
strong.
I'm sure
I
Callie will play it.
I am broke, so
Oh.
no.
Okay, then.
like
Well, you're
I guess Callie won't play it.
that's why I haven't
You
played
need
Walking
it,
Dead yet.
gifted it.
But also we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Anyways,
It's walking.
There's a lot of games I want right now. There's a lot of fucking games that have come out in the last
Update your
month.
wish list.
and there's
I
more
have.
coming out in the next couple. Of
Good.
months.
Guacamelee 2. I haven't gotten that yet. Yoku's Island Express. I want that. I still haven't gotten Dead Cells. There's a theme there if you can't tell. I've been playing free to play games. That's what I said.
free-to-play games are good.
All the games
Just
I
like the
mentioned during
Metroid
my thing
and Link to
were
the
all
Past
free.
randomizer.
Okay.
So
Let's move on. Let's start talking about some topics of news. There's a lot of news this week. Lots of things.
The first news is that Sora is coming to Switch.
No,
It's true.
That I don't know why that's even on here.
Who the hell
It's
put
true.
that on there?
I don't.
what do
Doing
you
it?
think?
Probably Deadpool he's laughing like a little fucking kid. No, so bunch of news this week. The Switch Online released, and also they had the Nintendo Direct last week as well. So Switch Online. Anybody buy it? I bought it.
I bought it.
I don't even own a Switch.
I don't have a Switch.
Me and Deadpool bought it.
I don't play video
I bought
games.
it immediately because I wanted to try out the NES stuff, and the NES stuff is boring.
You bought
And-
the NES stuff and didn't think it would be boring?
No, the NES stuff is free. If it was
Free.
part of the Switch Online,
In
Yeah,
quotes.
No, I know, but you said
I
you
bought it
to do
for
that.
Mario Kart
Oh,
to play Mario Kart online.
okay.
Not for the NES.
Judging by the outcome of our conversation here, this might be the thing that pushes me to get one.
To get a
Because
Switch?
I don't own a Switch, yeah.
Oh,
I
mean,
Access
I think
to a
there's
larger
some-
games
I
library
don't-
is kind of a big deal to me.
I don't think that. The one thing I will say is I don't think the Switch Online should be a thing to be a selling point to get you into the Switch,
Right.
that's correct.
because you can
There
probably.
are other things,
as-
yeah.
While I and you know I know that we're gonna have this conversation, but I think that the NES stuff is fine. But that's all I've really come across. I haven't really played too much online on Switch since then. What I've heard is that some games lobbies have died a little bit.
There's
Unfortunately-
lobbies. I couldn't even fucking find that.
I
No,
know
in-
for like
in
no.
online games,
I
like
meant like
Splatoon or
in
whatever.
like BB tags.
Oh yeah, I'm sure. It's
like,
completely
oh,
dead.
yeah.
lobbies.
In
I'm
games,
sure
you could
Towns.
previously play for free online.
Yeah,
Yes.
like Splatoon
Um,
probably saw a big hit.
Yep.
Oh, God, yeah.
There's a bunch of games that'll probably take a hit now, and then we'll see what happens, right? Like you have to wait. Like I think.
Well, what's going to happen is Smash is going to come out.
Yeah, and that's going to be. I think that'll be sort of the point where people realize whether or not it's actually going to be usable. I think.
I think it's going to be the Nintendo decision of are people actually going to pay? Are enough people actually going to pay for this who are just wanting it for Smash?
Yes. And I think
that's gonna be the thing.
I think that's fair. I don't necessarily believe that. I don't think the initial response has been very positive, which I think is fair. And I
Yes.
think that Nintendo can walk this back if they want to. I think it's something they can do. They've done
Oh, yeah.
stuff like this before.
They've done it in the
and-
past with the DS. Yes.
Yeah, they did. There was the ambassador program that they did for the 3DS when the 3DS launched. After the 3DS launch was not as smooth as it could have been, they could do things like that in the future. But if they do stay the course, which I think they probably are more likely to do, they definitely need to add more value to this.
Yes.
Just because, and like, I have no problem throwing $20 at Nintendo. That's not the problem. The problem is throwing $20 at Nintendo and not getting anything really back is a little disappointing.
Especially since I used to throw 35, 40 at Microsoft, and I'd get tons of games, really good functionality, grouping, all kinds of tracking.
To be fair, I think a lot of people take for granted nowadays what PSN, what PSN Plus, that's not really a fair comparison, but what Xbox does now compared to what it used to be. Xbox used to give you nothing, and you got to play online. That was it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true. Don't stop. Don't even. That's
no.
No, as
See,
a defender of Xbox Live, I will say that no.
as somebody who
The feature list was not that glaringly great compared to PSN.
as somebody who was forced to spend money to pay for Xbox Live for 2000, when did Halo 4 come out? 2004 till 2012. When
I
in the
know
entire
you will try to
time,
justify your expenditure.
no, fuck no. We're at the same time PS3 and Nintendo were not even really doing it at all, and I was just like, why the
PS3
fuck are
had
they?
free
What
on-
argument are you making? Okay, I'm confused about the
The
argument that's being made
argument
right now.
I'm making is I fucking hated every day of it, and it was never worth the value in the first place.
I wasn't going to make the argument. I wasn't going to make that argument. All I was saying was that we take for granted nowadays what Xbox Live and PSN Plus, for that matter, have turned into compared to what they were before with regards to the stuff that comes with it.
Yeah, but before, I'm trying to say, even before, that wasn't worth it, price-wise.
No, I'm saying it's more
It's-
worth it now than it was
that's
then.
that's what he's
That's
saying.
the point I'm trying to make. They've added more stuff to it, aka the free games that you get out of it, as long as you're subscribed to the service.
As long as you're subscribed to the service.
In the case of PSN Plus, they made it worse because now you have to pay
I know
for
PSN Plus
online.
with the reverse. That's what I was trying to say, and I felt like I was getting run over. But
Except Deadpool said it angrier.
For 360, I think some of the newer Xbone ones, they do go with the service, but you still get to keep a lot of it.
It's always been a ripoff to me that I have to pay for a package to access the online servers for the games I've already paid for. That's bullshit.
From the internet service you are already paying for.
That's bullshit.
We're not arguing whether or not we'd rather have it free. We're just
that's
saying.
a hollow argument.
Is.
You're always gonna go for the free. Like that's not the argument we're trying to make here. The argument is that's not.
You
the
gotta take the
argument.
suppository. Which one do you want to take?
Yeah,
none. But everyone's taking the suppository to play the game. So
Brennan is saying we have it much better now. That's what he's saying.
Not really. I hate it more now than ever.
Way to be contrarian. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the company has decided that they are going to charge for online play. You have a choice. You either
but then they objectively make the matchmaking of those games worse in every way. Like, the actual systems that are designed around these games are fucking hot garbage that encourage people to be complete fucking assholes online. Why am I paying for this?
I think everybody, if you're
I
on the
think we've
internet,
gone off track here.
Yeah, I think
no. Except I can
Deadpool
play
just
older
wants to be mad
games.
at the system.
No, I can play older games that use servers on the older platforms that give me a better experience. That is not this matchmaking garbage that Xbox Live initially pushed.
The older platform,
I love
the
peer-to-peer.
original Xbox. So,
okay.
For Halo, at least. So
Brennan,
that is not
continue.
experience.
Let's get back to the original discussion here. Is, I think most people could agree that it sucks that Nintendo is doing this. Everybody else is doing it. I just wish that Nintendo did it a little bit better than what they did, because what they've done so far has not, the value add is not there.
No,
And I think everybody can agree with that, because I think it's cool that they added the the NES games are fine. I think the list could have used a little bit of tweaking when they came out with it. I haven't tried the online play yet, but from what I've heard, it's fine and it works well enough. But it's nothing. It's unfortunately one of those things that you're going to do it once, you're going to think it's kind of cool, and then you're going to go play Mario Kart or whatever game you're playing on.
That's what I did.
Can I tell you why this NES stuff is not cool?
Sure, go ahead.
Because we've had 2 systems full of virtual console games that we've paid for, and we don't have access to them anymore. Again.
Yes.
I agree.
And I'm sure as hell not paying for this again.
A third time. Yeah. No, that's...
Because unlike Microsoft, you don't have a unified...
No, they do now. That's the thing. They introduced the Nintendo ID on the Wii U.
With
the
classics, though, was the classics an online library, or was it just preloaded?
No. So no, the
so with
classics,
this you can get updates.
This is I know people are calling it that, and it's not actually that, but this is about as close as you're going to get to a Netflix of retro games as it stands right now with the current way that things are.
I see the potential value in that.
That's clearly what they're prepositioning it to be, and you can tell by just looking at the interface that's exactly what they're trying to do, because the interface is literally the Netflix interface with just game box art.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
they don't have enough games to make it look like Netflix, where they can have like genres, and here are a bunch of games of that genre.
Is there a tab that's like
that.
Because you like Dr. Mario, you will
because there's literally 20 games.
No, it's
the entire screen, and that's it. That's all the games that are
there. It's not even really a advanced interface like Netflix, where it's like, oh look, you hover over this and then it gets bigger. No, it's literally just here's a spreadsheet.
I'm sure,
and you can reorganize everything in the spreadsheet with, like, it even shows the lines for a spreadsheet behind it.
You know what?
There could be more games if you put a little work into it.
I'm sure in 2 years they'll have like 300 games on there, and it'll be a lot better service-wise. But like,
there could be all of the games they have the licenses to right now on there, but they didn't do it because we didn't want to overwhelm the audience.
Which I think
bullshit.
Is fair. Well, no, I think
that's a load of shit. They didn't have enough time.
I think it's a fair assessment. I think that's a fair assessment to put, though. Like, think about how much of a clusterfuck it is to try something new on Netflix that you...
Clearly, they should have beta tested it.
Yeah, they should have. No, I agree. I think there's some stuff. I'm not saying I am going to say that I don't think that the backlash on it has been totally justified, but I do think that they could have done some things better.
Oh yeah, and I'm not going to stand here and say that I don't like what this might mean, because if they flush out the NES catalog, if they add a SNES catalog, who knows, maybe even a 360 or an N64 catalog, I'm there. I'm absolutely on board with like an all-in-one place.
Oh
emulator.
shit! That's one of the things that wasn't on.
I don't think they would do that.
That's why I'm not.
One reason, and one reason alone, it's because they want to sell the minis. They want to sell minis. They want to sell the tiny fucking.
No, that's the thing though. Is they even said from the get-go they didn't think the minis are going to sell that great.
But then it did.
Oh, but now they know.
And then they re-released them.
But then they've re-released them. And now they're fucking everywhere. And now it's the exact thing that they didn't want to have happen is happening. That there's just boxes of them sitting in fucking warehouses.
I think that's disingenuous to say that they didn't want it to happen when they just sold it and made it.
They said that as their justification for not making as many as.
That's a justification they made, but it's not like to say that they didn't want them to make sales on a product they're making.
No, that's not
really
what I...
No, they didn't. They didn't want to. They didn't. That's not. That's not at all.
They didn't want.
That's not what I said at all.
They
They didn't want boxes of them fucking sitting around, which is what I said.
They didn't
and that
want
makes
to make
perfect
an excess
sense.
amount of product
Because they looked at what happens with the Atari flashbacks and the crappy At Games Genesis consoles, and they see how there's like 20 of them sitting in fucking Walmart not being sold, and they didn't want their product to do that, and that makes perfect fucking sense.
You know how many Genesis minis there are? How many different Genesis
There's like 12
minis?
of them. There's like 12 of them, and there was 5 different Atari flashbacks. Most of them had the same exact games on them. So, like, clearly they were trying not to, like, fucking, what's the term I'm looking for here? They're trying not to water it down.
No.
But I agree. But I definitely agree that they showed us what they were able to get licenses for with the classics, and for them not to put those immediately on the Switch it's a little disingenuous, because obviously
buy the mini.
Those things, yeah, obviously on one hand it seems cynical. It seems like, yeah, go buy the mini. But at the same time, it's like the mini is $60.
They're not pushing the mini anymore. They're pushing the Switch. And
yeah.
My biggest problem with the Switch Online is that it's trying to do the thing that Xbox Live and PSN have done for several years now, and they're still doing it way worse than these already established services, even though they have the infrastructure in place.
As if they didn't have the example of the other two systems already ahead of them.
Yeah, I think the problem is they didn't put enough content in there, because if they put 200 NES games, a couple hundred, and 100 SNES games, and maybe some N64 games on launch, we'd all be talking about how, like, what would the argument be? Like, is that enough to satisfy? Like, what is the number?
I can't wait for the Switch Online games marketplace, which is already reaching this point at over 1,000 games, to hit the Steam marketplace, which I don't know how we suddenly got to this point
I saw
where we have so many games,
and
it's hard to
what the fuck is this?
For Nintendo to have the response of, no one's ever had this many games on an online service. I don't know how to correctly market games on our online service. Fuck you, Nintendo. Learn.
I will say that is part of everyone's frustration. The fact that they're proceeding as if there are no other examples of anything they're doing.
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's like, okay, do you see what Steam did? Don't do that.
Well, I don't think they're at risk.
I mean, it's not so simple, but it's still running into all these same problems.
But like they don't even try to not do that. They just have literally the same problem happening, which is we're just putting everything on here, and suddenly there's all the new games are shit.
Yeah,
all the recent releases are shit.
People saying like, "Oh, people want games on Switch." Oh well, we have like literally everything on Switch now. Congratulations.
I don't think that's necessarily fair. I don't think that the Switch store is like that cluttered with shit.
Yeah, you need to look.
The way that the Steam store is.
The Steam store is. The Steam store is bad. It is the worst.
No.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have games that exist purely for achievements, but like there's some crap up there.
There are absolutely okay. Big example for me is this is one of the first truly shit games I bought from Steam that was on the anime game. Mitsurugi Kamui Hake was added to Switch.
That's a confidence hack and slash. Okay. Thank you very much.
It is
It's okay.
garbage.
It
It
is
is
alright.
one of the garbage
It's not a
games.
garbage game. It's
You're
just
allowed to have-
mediocre.
I mean, you're
That's-
allowed to
no.
have an opinion.
That's a not so great game. The thing you have to worry
Funny
about is
pinball
shit like
and-
fidget spinner simulator and like
Yeah,
punch my asshole video.
Achievement Quest. Over
I love
that
that
game.
all these
Punch my
mathematics.
asshole, yeah, that's a new one.
based-
Like they have their featured game list, but like when I first bought this, I could look at almost any game on there and be like, "Oh, this is actually fucking great." And it's the same fucking problem Steam already had. Steam started off at a good spot and then got worse when they added more shit to it that was diluting what I can look at the store and be like, "Oh, this is all good." And it's like instead of looking at what Steam tried to do and adjust themselves that way, they're just the rest of the world doesn't exist. We're the only things that exist.
What were we talking about again?
I don't even know anymore. I don't necessarily. think,
Switch games,
I
though.
don't necessarily think that's fair, but
I-
let's move on because I think we got a little bit off track there. There's some other stuff related to the Switch Online.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
talking
Switch
about
Online-
Switch Online launching. That's
Switch
what-
Online game sharing. I've already tried it. It's great. If somebody hasn't done that yet.
Give me your
I have not
password,
tried it.
Deadpool.
I
Need
don't
a
know.
lot of trust
Sure.
though.
Yeah, I trust
that's
people.
the problem. Somebody
your
was like,
first
"Oh
mistake.
man, you can do the family thing with like 8 other people and blah blah blah."
Nah,
blah.
that-
That
yeah.
just seems really risky to me.
I didn't
I
do
have
that.
a massive Steam library, over 1,000 games. I do the sharing only with my brother because it even says if anything goes wrong, you're liable
Everybody goes
and
by.
you get banned and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Everybody goes bye bye.
Yeah, actually, with the so can I talk about this because I actually have done this and researched a bit
sure.
real quick, just like 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
So, yeah, no, you just have to change your password, and because of the whole way that Switch works with the whole, this is your primary Switch account on this system, versus this is your Switch account on a non-primary system, it's really easy to control. Like, oh, did they buy a game or not? Oh, do they even have access to buy a game on their system or not? So, like, the only thing I have to worry about is pretty much the first time install, and if I want to, I can change my password at any moment, and then they just lose access to that account forever.
Okay.
So, it's actually pretty safe compared to some of the other game sharings I've tried,
Okay.
and it works exactly the same way as Steam is.
Okay.
If you are playing a game on your Switch and they're on your account, they do not immediately get kicked. They get the option to go offline, even. So,
They get lightly pushed.
That's interesting. That's
So-
a neat way of doing it.
it's probably the best game sharing that there is. Which, after I just shout on Nintendo, that's
Yeah, that's fun. Okay, moving on. Also, the people found things with the NES Switch Online service. If you have a Japanese account on your Switch, you can simply just go to the page to download the Switch Online library, or the Famicom Switch Online, and play it with your US account or whatever account has the Switch Online service. You can play all the Japanese versions of the games, which is kind of cool.
Are there any region
No.
exclusive games? No.
No, there's not.
there's games that release in Japan first, but nothing exclusive. No.
Correct. There are some stuff that'll be releasing there first, like a week or two earlier, or something like that, I think. But no Japanese exclusive releases as of yet. Maybe there will be in the future. We'll see. And also, somebody found that you can inject a ROM essentially into the database that it uses for the software and run it similar to that of the NES Classic.
Because it
yeah.
is the NES Classic.
The exact because it is the NES Classic emulator running on the console.
Oh God bless
Actually
Nintendo,
works.
man.
I mean, to be fair, I don't think there's inherently anything wrong with the idea of them using the same emulator. If they found an emulator that works on the platform, it would be dumb for them to rewrite the emulator for no reason.
Well, the reason would be to prevent piracy.
Security.
But you can't. You have to already hack your Switch to do those.
They would have to have
Yeah,
designed
But
their
I mean, I
own.
own a paperclip, so I'm in there.
They would have had to design their own emulator. TeaTime. They don't want to do that.
That's
They
true.
did originally. What the fuck are you on about? The NES Classic emulator was made by Nintendo. Kashi was already made by Nintendo, and they put it on the Switch. They took the same emulator. It's literally the same code, updated a little bit, but it's the same. It's a derivative of the same code that they put onto the Switch.
No way. I bet it's Z-SNES.
Yep. No, it's Z-SNES. Y'all, you're right. I'm a fucking idiot. I don't know. I'm just. Anyways,
I'm
Nintendo
sorry,
Direct
Brennan.
was last week. Nah, fuck you guys. Whatever. Nintendo Direct was last week. I don't know why. I don't know why I started
That's
this.
the
season with
VGZ
this.
motto right there.
Yeah. Why did I fucking do this? That's the VGZ motto. Also, last week, Nintendo Direct. Lots of things that were going to be announced a week earlier were announced a week after they were supposed to be announced.
Yep.
Due to the earthquakes in Hokkaido, which I do not blame Nintendo for doing, and anybody who did blame
I
Nintendo
do.
for doing is a piece of shit.
People blame Nintendo for doing that?
Yeah, people
No,
were
they got
like,
mad at
Nintendo, how
yeah.
could you do this? You're terrible. How could you
I blame
care
Nintendo
about...
for the earthquakes. I cut out the middleman.
No,
That's valid concern and complaint, sir.
that's fair. Anyways, some cool highlights from the Nintendo Direct. Like I was talking earlier, Civ 6 was announced to be ported to the Switch, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yep.
There is a new, and by new I mean remake, of Katamari Damacy called Katamari Damacy Reroll.
Coming to
Which
most-
Yeah, why
is
is
coming to most consoles, but was announced at the Nintendo Direct.
Why the first one?
It's coming to PC.
Why the first
Ooh.
one?
Yeah,
Because
it
the
is.
first one was great.
I've never played a
The
Katamari.
second
I never
one is
played
better
any
in
of
every single way.
I never played any of them besides the first one, so that's
They
why.
will
Oh,
probably
you-
do the second one after the first
I
one
hope.
sells like gangbusters, because it will.
I hope We Love Katamari is the shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. It looks awesome. And they also announced the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle, which we already talked about. What else did they announce?
Great
other than
games,
the
but
big
no
one.
licensed ones.
Animal
unfortunately.
Crossing.
The big one
2019.
was Animal Crossing coming 2019.
Not on here, but announced yesterday. Ace Attorney
Oh,
trilogy.
yeah. They're putting
That's
out.
further
yeah.
down the list.
Yeah,
It's not on
is
here.
not the Nintendo Direct.
That is in Quick Fit.
It might as well be.
It was not announced at Nintendo Direct, which is what I'm talking about right now.
What else did they fucking announce?
What else did they announce? They announced new Super Mario Bros. U make coming over to the
Yes.
Switch, and Luigi U as well. Which to nobody's surprise at all, because I mean
Luigi's Mansion 3DS.
Oh,
has
that's right. And
multiplayer?
Luigi's Mansion 3 has also been announced.
Oh, right.
You know what's
and-
great? That Luigi's Mansion arcade game. That's a really cool game.
Yeah,
I
that's a pretty
never
cool
played
game.
it. I never
Not
got
in the
to play
Nintendo
it.
Direct, but pretty cool game.
The one in my local Dave and Buster's was fucking broken, so I was hammered, like swinging around a vacuum. You're like, why isn't it working?
Also the Yoshi, the new Yoshi game, the Yoshi Papercraft game, which looks pretty fucking great.
300 rooms.
I want a Papercraft Poochie. Please give me a Papercraft
Ooh.
Poochie.
Absolutely. I still have my Poochie amiibo. That shit's fucking
I also
tight.
have my Poochie amiibo. Yeah, so that was everything out of the Nintendo Direct. There's nothing else to talk about with the Nintendo Direct. And anybody who says otherwise is
We-
shit.
We talked about it beforehand. We don't need to.
We don't
Red
need-
hair is better than blonde. We're done. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's all.
Anyways, going on to the news. Furthermore, Europe continuing to be terrible and great at the same time.
Yeah.
We won't
Just in
talk about the
general.
terrible stuff. We'll
What's
talk
the
about
terrible
terrible
bit?
stuff.
Europe,
The meme
EA
laws.
of the world.
The meme laws. That they just
Oh
passed.
yeah, that bit. Yeah.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how.
Well, because memes are
16
banned. So
We're going to talk about how 16 gambling commissions in Europe signed a declaration against loot boxes and skin gambling
Good.
websites.
Fuck 'em. Take 'em
Support this
down.
decision.
Now, for those of you who aren't aware, not specifically about the loot box side of things, because we can talk about the loot box side of things, but one of the big things in one of the big things that happened not recently, it's been going on for the last like 2 or 3 years, but it's been a bigger note. There are sites out there where you can take the skins you win on a game like Counter-Strike Go, for instance, and gamble them away by betting on things, or you can buy a box of the loot variety that contains the possibility of getting one of many $50 skins on Steam. these are both terrible fucking things that shouldn't exist, but they do because
But one of them.
Money.
Run by
money.
people who were streaming and announcing many of these events.
Yeah,
Which led to a whole other can of worms.
there's a bunch of videos on the topic. I don't want to retread too many waters, but I will say that it is cool that that government agencies are starting to get involved, because this is a little
Gotten
ridiculous.
out of fucking control.
Yeah, I got it out of fucking
What are you,
control.
some kind of fucking narc?
No.
The thing is,
But I'm a cop.
FIFA
so
has
you
always
tell
been
me
their
if you
loot
do
box
something illegal.
like leader. It makes tons of money there. That's why they started putting in everything else. And
Yes.
for the whole of Europe to say, "Hey, you can't do this anymore," that's a lot of revenue they just fucked up on.
Especially in FIFA. Ooh, imagine this is
This is all coming back from like the freaking was it Battlefront 2?
yeah. Well, see, like, so to put this in perspective, right? Battlefront 2 should have been the easiest slam dunk in the fucking universe. Star Wars hype was at an all-time high. People loved DICE. All they had to do was make a competent shooter in fucking Star Wars. And they managed to fuck it up so badly that their biggest cash cow of FIFA and all the microtransactions are now in danger in Europe.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
Yeah,
EA, like, you fucked up.
They fucked up pretty badly. Now, to be fair, this declaration is nothing more than just a declaration.
It's
There's
just-
no
well,
actual legal
it's-
authority behind it.
From
Um,
who? From which one?
This is this is drafted by the Gambling Commission of the United Kingdom.
Okay.
But in that there are signatures from countries like the French Online Gaming Regulatory Authority.
Yeah, because there's
more ministries of like Austria and Poland and Norway and the Netherlands.
Yeah, that's just them saying that. So far, well, Belgium and was it Sweden or Finland? Was the other country?
Finland, I think.
They actually did deem this
Yes.
illegal, and that's becoming an actual legal battle on that
Yeah,
front.
there are
Yes.
at least three countries that already said it is illegal.
Right, but these are more countries.
Australia
Yeah.
is also.
Yeah, Australia sort of had a
Okay, that was a
conversation
new one,
about it
yeah.
as well. But this is more just from like the different gaming authorities making a comment about it, which I think is good. Of note, actually, one of the groups that's actually in this, surprisingly enough, is actually the director of the Washington State Gambling Commission, which I'm assuming is of the United States. Yep, of the United States. So not only actually European commissions, but also a U.S. commission.
Good.
So I mean, this is cool. I'm sorry.
Hawaii was also jumped on the bandwagon a bit.
But it wasn't part of what he's talking about.
It
right?
wasn't part of this particular thing that I was
Yeah.
talking. But I mean, so this is good. We'll see if anything comes of it. But
So, yeah, about the gambling thing and loot boxes becoming illegal. So Star Trek Timelines just announced that they're expanding. Which, if anybody here remembers Star Trek Timelines, nobody.
yeah,
That's the phone game,
I
right?
know what it is.
It's the phone game. Yeah, they made $72 million last year.
That's not unsurprising. Well, why do you think EA's fighting it in Belgium, man?
Their number one players are not in Europe. So even if this does pass, if this still becomes a thing in like Saudi Arabia, which I'm imagining it will be, which is where the number one amount of income is coming from on these games now, yeah, it might help EU, but it's not going to actually maybe change what the money is coming from.
I think a step in the right direction is not a bad thing, though.
Oh, fuck no. Please, keep more.
Yes. This could lead to better stuff happening in the future. But I don't think you could ask almost anybody in the video gaming industry nowadays, not the industry, but of the outside of the industry who participate in the industry in some way, would admit that the ways that things are going right now.
Yes. As long as they weren't part of the ESA, they would say, yeah, it's a good step.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moving on. This one I think Rook actually posted initially.
I can take some ownership of this one.
Please
Yeah,
do.
no, and I think that's great because I didn't watch the gameplay footage, so I'm gonna have to watch that. I watched the launch trailer that you showed.
So go right ahead, Brooke.
So about like
Or this is what I watched. Okay. So go ahead,
So,
Rook, please.
About a year or two ago, actually, pretty shortly after Fallout 4 came out, there was a Fallout Vegas mod that was coming out, where they were taking the Fallout 4 engine and just kind of rehashing New Vegas, which is everybody's favorite, and if it isn't, fuck you. This is a culmination of some of those team members, because that project dissolved, and a few other team members, new folks in the industry, who are getting together and actually making this game. And they're releasing steady progress reports, which is really encouraging. So what we have now is the first gameplay footage, which is Ain't That a Kick in the Head? Just the very first basic tutorial quest. And it's voice acted by a new voice actor, because while working alongside or under the advisement of Bethesda, not with Bethesda. Bethesda's not taking any sort of kickback or any sort of claim on this, but the folks are in touch with them and making sure that they won't get, cease and desisted or anything. Right. They can't use the audio assets because I think it's still tied up with Obsidian.
Interesting.
Anyway,
yeah, that's a whole.
Yeah, that's a mess. We're not.
It's
about that.
It's looking good. It's still kind of alpha-y, but the people that they're getting, the talent that they have, and what they're able to put out so far is really encouraging. And they've put out an open casting call. So if you would like to, say, patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter into a mic, you could probably do that. And there are links that I can post in chat stuff. But if you haven't seen that gameplay, you should give it a watch, because it might make a believer out of you.
No, it's really cool to see.
Well, isn't there also footage of them just running around the desert shooting at geckos? Yeah,
it's kind of sandboxy style, but this is like their first. It has a branching dialogue interaction.
Yeah, this is showing off like the actual like RPG mechanics.
The actual gameplay, yeah. Playing the game will look like this, is what they're saying, and that looks pretty good.
Yeah, looks
They
promising.
also have included probably the first and foremost premier mod for New Vegas, which is the option to select two bears high-fiving for the inkblot test. That is just coming in standard, apparently.
Yes.
So rest assured.
It's the only option.
Yeah.
That's pretty great. I'm always happy to see good mods, and especially if it's that they're getting Bethesda's sort of blessing to not do anything too crazy.
Yeah.
That's good. I think
I'm really looking forward to what they do to bridge the gaps between the two systems, because Fallout 4 is very different from the New Vegas engine, the 3 engine, basically.
Right. Well, it looks like they just like threw away all of like the perk system and the leveling of 4, and they're just keeping the gunplay and dialogue systems of New Vegas. They're keeping the gunplay of 4, but they're kind of just binning all of the shit that made Fallout 4 a piece of garbage.
Kinda. I think what they're doing is they're harnessing that system in 4 and reskinning it. They're like toning it down, because if you look at part of Ain't That a Kick in the Head is you get to tag your stats, which is a Fallout 3 holdover, and you get to select some perks, which is again a Fallout 3 holdover.
You get traits.
Yeah, you still get that, but I think they're implemented a little differently. It should be really interesting, and my alarm is going off. Attend to that.
Fallout 4 is a fine game. It's a fine game. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's just not the story of New Vegas.
Oh, I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that.
I have no interest in playing 4.
Brennan, what?
I kind of went into like 2 places at the same time. I like Fallout 4. I don't think it's as good as New Vegas. I'm not going to say it is, but I think it's better than 3 personally.
Fallout 4 is a great game, but my favorite Fallout game is New Vegas.
4 is a better version of 3.
Oh, see, I'm in on my extremes, man. I don't think Fallout 4 is even a good. I don't think it does anything good, particularly.
I think it's a fine one of those. Like the story kind of sucks, and it didn't.
It took a lot
story
of things
definitely
from
sucked,
New
yeah.
Vegas Project Nevada.
Yeah,
I
the
don't
only
know.
thing I like about Fallout 4, they nailed
Drip.
it. Good job.
What?
Bethesda.
Exactly.
That's great. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it sounded like you just stopped talking for a second there.
No,
I
his
did.
mic cut shot.
I thought I heard someone mention Project Nova. I was kind of confused. I wanted some
Yes.
clarification there.
So, but yeah, so I think that's great. Hopefully, I bid them good luck. You know,
Yeah.
like we've seen some good mods previously that are very similar in scope.
Yes.
So I mean, you know, if
None
they
of
got
those
a
have
good
ended well, and I really hope this one
Mm,
does.
that's
Black
what I'm saying. That's my
Mesa?
biggest worry.
Black Mesa,
Black Mesa's not done yet.
Black
there was
Mesa's vaporware, man.
there was that total conversion mod for Skyrim that dude made that got him hired by Bethesda.
Enderall.
Yeah,
Enderall is still going. Actually, they've actually not when you absorb some other team is called. They've taken other mod teams and they've started adding more to it. So they're now on Bruma, is what they're calling the next expansion for that. Like they have expansions for it now. So,
Okay.
um,
Okay. No, that's fair. But yeah, so we definitely wish them good luck with that. Hopefully they'll do stuff. I don't know. Maybe I'll throw in my voice for a casting call.
Yeah,
Go right
give
ahead.
that a try.
Anyways, also this week happened to have been the Tokyo Game Show, which a lot of news came out of.
Yes.
Freaking ton.
A ton. In fact, I have news in both this and the next section. So I guess maybe I'll just kind of throw some stuff together because I think a lot of the stuff below is actually also from that. So let's just kind of do a quick roundup of all the things because we're kind of going there a little bit time wise, I think. Let's see. There is the Devil May Cry 5 everything.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Wait.
This is not my game. This is not where I come in. Sorry.
This is my game.
I like Devil May Cry. It is not my. I'm not going on every word. So.
All right.
T-
So
and,
why does
like,
Dante look like Nathan Drake with white hair?
Because
he's old.
So T, I'll give you like 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Okay,
All
maybe
right.
a minute. Come talk to me about
Devil May Cry.
talk about Devil May Cry.
They showed off Dante. Styles are in.
He
Weapon
pulls
switching
out
is in.
motorcycles.
The motorcycle swords look cool. What else? They showed off a bunch of story shit too, but the important shit is that they put out a gameplay video, 15 minutes long. It's on YouTube. Look at it with your eyeballs. See if you like it or not.
It's a good
Minus
looking
the
Devil May
cutscene.
Cry.
In some cases.
There's this big kerfuffle over the theme for Dante, mostly because it sucks.
Yeah.
It was a bad battle theme.
It's not a good theme in any way, shape.
And then on top of that,
the lead singer was sending dick pics to underage girls, so that's a good look for that.
Yeah, always a good look.
Awesome.
So Capcom's kind of like putting the axe on that. If we're lucky, the shit theme will be gone and we'll get a good theme.
They've already said they
already
are doing
changed
that.
it, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
Cool.
It's
and
just Double Trigger.
Another
Yeah.
kerfuffle, which is kind of like a non, is there are microtransactions. You can purchase orbs. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition had this. They did
Like
not.
the Red Orb packs.
Yeah, it didn't affect the balance of the game. You still could get all of the orbs you need to get for all the upgrades very easily. A lot of people have combed over this demo after hearing about this. An orb gain is fine for now.
Can I say that I'm really okay with that because the games themselves historically have always just shit talked you for using those power ups.
Yeah, well,
They always counted against you. I'm down. If you want to bust out your wallet, the game is going to call your penis tiny, and that's okay.
yeah, but it's if they gimp the orb gain for the game to encourage the purchase of microtransactions, fine, I understand. Get pissed. I'd get pissed too. But historically, these microtransactions are pretty harmless. The Tales of games have had these for years since Vesperia. Dragon's Dogma on launch had them. No one fucking buys them. They're worthless. They're just in there for stupid idiots who are like, I don't want to play this video game. So they buy their way through the video game. Whatever, fine, let them be idiots. It's not affecting me. It's not like they're it's not like they're invading my game of Devil May Cry 5 and killing me mid-match. It's a single-player game. I don't give a fuck what anyone else does.
Yeah, single player.
I mean, the part of the problem is like you have to be a little concerned. I know that maybe not specifically because of Capcom, but you do look at, like, let's say for instance, NBA 2K19, where microtransactions are so much a part of that game, of the single player part of that game, that you cannot play the single player successfully without spending money. Like, it's impossible. If you guys haven't read the reviews about this, and not to railroad over your Devil May Cry 5
no, that's fine.
love fest, but Google, I think it was, I know it's a quote unquote, I know it's Kotaku or Polygon, I don't remember, one of the two big ones that I know everybody loves to hate on. Somebody wrote a very in-depth article about how shitty, I think it was actually Ben Kuchera, so that would be Polygon. He wrote a very in-depth article about how scummy 2K19 is, and how if you didn't have the $100 version that came out for the pre-release version, the version that you had to buy, like, that came out 3 days earlier, that came with 100,000 of the VC in-game currency thing, you pretty much couldn't play the single player, because you'd have to grind out so much that your main character can never get to a point that he'd actually be able to play in the NBA. Like, because you start off playing in China in the game, and you're so shitty that you can't beat the Chinese players, which in NBA terms, like, that's like the Chinese league's a little below like NBA. It's just like a fact. But yeah, so I think that's why people sort of get up in arms about it.
Absolutely.
I know one thing that they mentioned, or that somebody mentioned, that I thought was interesting, is there apparently is a possibility for online play.
Yes, on the digital storefronts, the game is listed to have up to 2 to 3 player online
co-op
play. And I mean, there are 3 playable characters, so
you got Hat in Time, right? You said
yes.
Yes.
That has co-op now. How the fuck does that work?
It's local only. It just splits the screen in half.
Oh, it's just split screen. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the program you need to get is called, where is it? Parsec.
Also, I'd like to note one quick thing. Everyone keeps glossing over this, but that press release also says live action cutscenes, DMC5.
Oh no, I've been hearing a lot about that too, and people are like,
yeah. I mean, that's fine. Someone will upload those on the internet, so I just won't get them. The thing people should actually be pissed about, and I'm surprised people are glossing over this, is the fact that they're selling joke weapons for Nero as DLC. The pasta breaker, the
vibrating rubber arm,
the Mega Man Buster, like that's
I really
all
hope
like paid.
that's not. I really hope that's not only paid DLC, but it might
Sweet
be.
Surrender, I think it's called.
See, that's almost worse to me than the cheats Red Orb stuff, because like there were games in the past where we would just have that. You know?
Yeah, and Devil May Cry especially, with it's always pretty good about like unlocking things per difficulty. So if these are unlocked specifically behind DLC, that would be pretty disappointing. But like people are like shitting their pants over this Red Orb business, man, and I'm just like, chill. Chill out.
Can I?
It's fine.
Which is worse to you, a game having dumb joke weapons like that, or a game having dumb joke weapons like that you have to pay for? Because if you're playing Devil May Cry to be a cool guy, not to unlock banana arms,
pay for.
Then
if I traditionally got,
I mean,
there's a banana arm.
There's a banana arm.
Yeah, it's bananas.
It's just bananas.
Yeah.
All right. So anything else that you want to talk about with Devil May Cry 5 before
Devil May Cry 5? Oh no, it looks good. Oh, Trish is ugly as fuck.
No,
that mod is terrible.
No, Trish and Lady look like normal
shit.
women. All right, fuck off.
All right, let's move on. Also announced at TGS was the PlayStation Classic, which I'll actually, you know what? Actually, let's talk about the PlayStation Classic last. I'll come back to the PlayStation Classic.
Yeah, that's the last.
I have words
Soul
about
Calibur
that.
6
Right.
is online beta starts Thursday.
Yes.
Yes.
No,
I did
you
not know
can
about
download
this.
it on Thursday and then it starts on Friday.
Yeah, it starts on
Oh,
Friday.
okay, cool. I will be down on that. I didn't even
For
realize.
what systems?
Well, the Soul
think
Sorry,
Calibur-
that
Calibur
page doesn't
Phone.
exist.
it doesn't exist, so that's good. Anybody can find that? That would be great.
Network test September 28th for PS4 and Xbox One. It's a different. They retweeted it on a different link.
Okay, so
Sorry.
Xbox One and PS4 only for the network test on Friday. So cool. I'm excited. I will definitely be playing that on Friday. Maybe.
Yeah, I
we should
just
stream some of
watched
that.
today the grand finals from SER, and that game is hype as shit.
Yeah, no, those finals are great. I watched them live. That was great. So that's cool. That's exciting. Also, let's see. So quick stuff from TGS. There was a Kingdom Hearts Big Hero 6 trailer showing off Big Hero 6 in the Kingdom Hearts universe, or the Kingdom Hearts Big Hero 6 universe in Kingdom Hearts. I don't know which way you want to,
Yeah.
which way you're supposed to write
I'm
that.
down.
Yeah, they also
Except
Sure.
you can go to like fucking Neo
subscribe
San
button.
Francisco, and that's weird.
they also put out a bunch of gameplay videos.
Yeah, for Toy
Which,
Story and Frozen.
That game looks pretty freaking good.
It does.
So that's cool. Let's see what else is there. So other quick things. Resonance of Fate remaster that was
Fuck.
delisted recently.
Gun Scope Gun the game. Part 2.
So
the gun
yeah,
game.
the gun game, the gun RPG is coming out with a remaster for the PS4 and PC October 18th.
God
Is that-
damn it!
Is that
Can't
a
wait.
US release October 18th, or is that Japan?
That's right around the corner.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I'm looking. I can't find it.
Don't.
I've already threatened Fine that I would get the PC version so that I could mod it for realism,
Oh god.
but I would basically have to gut the entire fucking game and start from scratch.
Yes, you would.
Just import the models into Arma.
I can't see the clicking. No, it definitely does say October 18th. So get ready for Gun RPG HD on October
Shit,
18th.
That's just coming, I guess.
That's a month away, less than a month away.
My computer can
Um,
probably handle that, so I'd say if you're going to expect me to stream anything, it'll probably be that.
I look forward to seeing it because I probably won't buy it on launch. I'll buy it eventually because I still have yet to play it. I have it on PS3 and I've never touched it. Not for a lack of trying.
That
there's no
game's so
source.
dumb. It's so dumb.
Anyways,
Yeah.
move on. Let's move on. Also announced release date wise, Tetris Effect coming out November 9th. I'm excited. If you
Yes.
haven't seen stuff around Tetris Effect, I really strongly recommend it. It's by Enhanced Games, which is the guys that made
Res.
Lumines or Lumines, however you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Lumines. So like awesome shit. I'm really excited. I love everything that developer does, so I guess it's just how I am with that.
No, it's
and
Tetris
then-
Res. Yeah.
They recently re-released Luminous. Or was
Yes.
Yeah.
On the Switch. With trans vibrator capabilities, because you could take one of the Joy-Cons and put it on your leg.
Yeah,
Yes.
your leg.
For the
Your
On
beat.
your
leg.
leg.
To
Yeah, I
follow
don't
the
know
beat.
about you.
On your leg.
To follow the beat.
Anyways, also the Sega mobile games series added Streets of Rage 2, which is now available on iOS and Android. It is ad supported, although if you've played it, it's actually not. If you've played any of those games, the ads are actually not terrible.
Yeah, it's
Sweet.
the controls that are.
Yeah, the controls are not great, and I don't think you can. Can you?
There's
can you,
8 million Genesis games on phones. They
There are.
they have the on-screen gamepad stuff, and it sucks.
Yeah, but it's good to see. It's good to see Streets of Rage. I like Streets.
It's fine.
Rage.
It's
Never
fine.
heard of it.
I hate you. so
We're getting 4 soon, so I'm happy.
No, I'm not happy yet. They need
What?
to announce something very specific about 4 before I can be happy about it.
The fact that they haven't announced it means they're going to. The fact that they haven't said they can say anything about it yet means they're going to officially follow the marketing plan. Follow the money.
The 47
When
market
when
plan,
they
as
say that-
laid out in this PDF here.
When they
Pepe
say that,
Sylvia doesn't exist.
when they say that name, I will be happy. But until then, my excitement for it will be muted.
Gentlemen,
also like
Jake
just
Gordon.
did a track for like Fight and Rage or
He
whatever
does
it's called.
he does about 4 soundtracks a year.
Yeah, no, he's gonna do it.
I
I
hope you're right.
they're just
You've
following the
decided.
marketing
I
plan.
hope you're right. Anyways,
Cali's uncle works for Nintendo. So.
yeah, Alex Uncle works for Nintendo. Something that actually I'm very excited about, more for the vinyl that'll come out with it.
God damn you and your vinyls. You and Bill are just awful influences. I've bought so much goddamn vinyl in these past
Have
2
you
weeks.
listened to any yet?
I have a box
I
full
had
of
to
vinyl.
take my player off because I'm redoing my sound system. But I will.
Chibi, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
Anyways,
Buy 6 more times the comment. It's okay.
a sequel to Valhalla called Nirvana, titled N1RV Anna.
And dash A, yes.
And-A, Cyberpunk Bartender Action, which is which is not a direct sequel, but is a sequel that has some callbacks to the story, according to.
It's set in the
in
universe.
In the
yes.
Valhalla
Well,
universe.
it's a connected world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Random read-only memories was also in there.
Yeah.
Wait, was it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are all part of the same universe?
They
Yes.
both
'Cause that's
they
a
both
different
have
developer.
mentions of each other.
Really?
They even brought characters from one to the other now.
There's one.
I was not
forget
aware of
which
that.
one it is. But
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I was not aware of that. Anyways,
Also-
so they announced it, and it was playable at TGS.
But
So
it's
that was
not coming to the public until.
2020.
Yeah.
worth
I'm
mentioning
not surprised.
Rest in peace.
that bartender, Big Baps.
Yeah.
Got Baps.
Yes, that is true.
Confirmed.
2 things from the Capcom side of the country, and by country I mean Capcom.
The toilet.
The
Game
Capcom country.
Capcom introducing. Actually, there's 3 things they're introducing. We didn't note one of them. They are introducing dojos into Street Fighter V, where you could have basically a clan of people and have your own customized training stage to do training and practice non-ranked fights and stuff.
I see they've learned from Warframe. Got it.
Kind of cool. Yeah, but I mean, to be fair, it's neat to see that in a fighting game. It's something that I think
it's
makes
cool.
a lot of sense. They also announced last night at the Street Fighter V Capcom Cup Regional in Japan.
Yep.
They announced 2 things. First, they announced a
More
Street Fighter V
costumes.
arcade cabinet
For Arcade Edition. Took
for
them.
Arcade Edition. So a proper
Released-
actual arcade for their Arcade Edition.
They're releasing the fucking console.
Yeah.
Edition.
Which
As
apparently will
arcade.
have USB port on it, so you can bring your stick to the arcade to use your stick or pad.
Oh, that's cool.
That's neat.
Which I think is kind of neat. Unfortunately, it probably will not make its way to America, as most things don't nowadays when you say the word arcade on them.
Yes.
But who knows? Maybe. I mean, Dave & Buster's has been pretty well done right now recently with bringing over some games that you didn't necessarily think would ever get brought over. Like there's the DDR, the net play DDR thing that is available at Dave & Buster's. I forget what it's called.
It's just called DDR.
Yeah, the DDR cabinet that's there. That's kind of neat. And they might. I mean, that's a possibility. It could be something they could cooperate with and do.
I don't know.
I'm sure the cabinets will be fucking expensive though, because they gotta have to be at least PS4 hardware. Although to be fair, throwing a PS4 in an arcade cabinet, it's probably not that expensive.
Dave and Buster's has a policy against fighting games. They don't have any fighting games in any
Because
of
you
their...
might get riled
And,
up and
and
fight
Injustice-
dude.
When we were there last
FGC
time, they have
Thuggery.
it. They have Injustice 2. It's based off the mobile game, but they have it.
That's just...
That's not the real Salt, though.
I'm just saying, maybe it's something they could do.
It's part of the group of games they have. Doodle Jump, Subway Surfers, Fruit Ninja. It's just
Frosty Road.
it's another one of those. It's
Okay,
not,
fine. I can be hopeful and hope that it happens, and it never actually happened.
I
Well-
worked for Dave and Buster's. I know
Yeah.
what they're fucking.
That's what I want to know from Cali, because you were saying
Okay.
there's a policy they have.
They
against
literally go walk into any Dave and Buster's. The only thing they have is Injustice Mobile, which is
Right.
a 1-button game. It's
Okay.
it,
All right, fine. Then I'm sorry I ever said anything about
and
it.
yet
Okay?
they have
Sorry.
House of the Dead and
No hope
whatever.
allowed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I said something. I apologize.
Brennan, I'm a realist. Okay.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'll just sit over here in fucking Fantasyland then.
What Brennan? But Brennan, one of your points on that was like, with Dave and Buster's doing so well with arcades. I think, like, there are definitely some arcades that have definitely failed over the year. But like we definitely are getting, at least here, there are some arcades that are definitely coming and be like, oh, there's some people who actually want to play these things, like Street Fighter, in a public environment.
Yeah,
And it's definitely something that like I'm seeing a lot more of.
Yeah, it's more of a California thing though. Like you see barcades around, but generally they're not going to have newer
Fighting
stuff.
games
I mean,
are niche, man.
Dave & Buster's has helped the arcade industry. Like, they literally have games developed just for them, like that new Tomb Raider.
Well, they
Light
own
game and
that
Halo
Raw
game.
Thrills company.
Yeah, like they are making arcade games, but just for them. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, the other point that I was going to talk about with that is they also announced a 3v3 esports league coming next year called the Street Fighter League. And they will have like 3v3 fighter battle things because they're adding a mode apparently coming soon as well to the game, to Street Fighter 5, which seemed kind of neat. Like it's like 3v like the 3v3 concept that you see at some fighting game tournaments, but like actually structured and in a league.
This is a thing e-leagues have done for a while.
Yeah, it's cool. They're making it official for them though. Like Capcom is doing its own thing with it, which is kind of neat. I
That's
think.
cool.
So, moving on. Let's see, what is this? Synaptic Drive. Who posted this? Custom Robo Spiritual.
I'm gonna guess Donut.
I'm gonna guess it was Donut. Donut posted a lot of the threads for us this week. So if there's anything in here that y'all don't care about, you
I
can blame
probably should have known about this, and I feel like an idiot for not knowing about it. So,
but this looks like this is a game for the Switch. Looks kind of neat. Looks like I guess Custom Robo. I've never actually played Custom Robo. And this actually no, sorry. This looks like Xbox. This looks like Xbox controls because it's got the four horizontal lines. Maybe it's PC. But looks kind of neat. Looks like a interesting little robot game. I'm assuming that it must be a donut thing if nobody in here is talking about it.
yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll move on then. Unfortunately, it has been noted that the Devolver Digital Entertainment Classic has been canceled.
No.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, we were talking about that earlier, right? There's just all these. Even if the NES Classic can't sell, and there's so many of these flashback consoles around, I mean, what chance do they have?
That's what
Yeah,
I mean, I
the
agree.
NES. It's not like Nintendo just copyrighted the N64 Classic or anything with the designs and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not like Sony's putting out their own classic.
Yeah, I mean it's not like the
It's definitely not like it's just a
Devolver
painted Dreamcast.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not like the Devolver Digital Entertainment System Classic wasn't actually just a Hello Kitty Dreamcast.
What? It was a brand new system.
Yeah,
For
totally a brand
Full of
new
all your
system.
favorite Devolver classics.
Like
like
Hotline
Power
Miami.
Stone.
By the way, reminder: Meta Wolf Chaos is still coming.
yeah,
not
and
forget
so
that,
is Hotline
ever.
Miami 3.
Is
They
it?
announced. Yes,
Is it?
there was a thing about it actually. I don't know why this didn't get posted in the news, but there is a beta I think coming up of the multiplayer.
If you know the ending to 2, that it raises some questions on.
I'm assuming it is unrelated of some variety.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it. I saw it mentioned somewhere. Maybe I was being
Hopeful.
led
Rused?
on. I could have been rused.
Let me see.
I
What?
might have been.
No one has ever lied on the internet.
Shut the
might
fuck
have
up.
I might have been rused. But I swore somebody posted something about it.
I'm seeing a Reddit post specifically
Yeah, I know,
saying
the first
no, there
Reddit
will not
post-
be a Hotline
No.
Miami 3.
But to be fair, that's literally just somebody saying that. That is not.
Quoting a bunch
Like-
of interviews, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. There was a post about it somewhere. Maybe somebody was making a joke and I misread what they were saying. There is always a possibility.
Oh,
Keep up
fuck.
alive.
We didn't even add that on there. Whatever.
What?
We talked about it earlier.
What?
Ken is an Echo Fighter in Smash.
Oh, was
is-
that announced?
No.
No.
It's a dumb leak. I'll believe
People are still that.
when I
Is that
see
render
it.
real?
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I wouldn't
though,
be surprised either. That's why.
how easy it would be for them to echo fader that.
Yeah,
It's
they'd have to
easy.
throw some Ike
Let's-
fire on the
Let's
short.
not turn into a Nintendo Direct though. Because
No.
Every time I see a picture like that, that's just like a picture of a screen, I think of that Capcom versus Kellogg's picture that I saw. That
that picture is amazing.
Hold on. Once again, going back to the release of all kinds of old stuff out of nowhere. What do you think of the chances of us ever getting Tatsunoko versus Capcom anywhere else?
Zero.
Zero.
They never.
Really?
Zero contracts.
Contracts.
God damn it.
Sorry,
It's hard.
licenses kill that one. I put it out there the other day that now that SNK is starting to come back, maybe Capcom and SNK can work it out again to bring CVS back, or at least a like a reprint of fucking CVS, one of the CVSs.
These
Or
licenses are
SVCs.
definitely weird. I mean,
Those are tough though. Yeah.
every single like Capcom fighter involving Marvel has been delisted from digital stores, like except for the new one. But
yeah, it's tough. I mean, to be fair, I think it's a little more likely we see something like what I'm saying, just with if like, let's say if Samurai Showdown, the new Samurai Showdown make, which we didn't talk about because it was like 2 weeks ago, but if that new Samurai Showdown comes out and is successful, which if you all don't fucking buy it, I'm gonna come to your house and beat you up.
I'm gonna buy Okami again. 1 sec.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, hold on. I'll join you.
BRB not buying Samurai Showdown.
Okay, I'm coming to TeaTime's house. But anyways, no. But if that's successful and SNK sort of gets their name back out there a little bit, there's the 40th anniversary collection coming soon. Maybe we get a CVS remake, not a remake, but at least like a modernization would be nice. I think it was on. I thought No, it was KOF 2002. They have gotten some KOF games remade, so I don't know. It's a possibility. Could happen.
I
Anyways.
own most of them on Steam right now.
Let's talk about the Vita.
Yeah.
I own one.
I heard it means life.
Actually,
You heard wrong.
next year, you are terribly mistaken, as
No.
next year, Sony has announced they will cease production of the hardware.
Yeah.
Not that you could find any in the United States at all at this point, but that's happening. So
Yep.
better go buy your Vitas before they
didn't
go.
they already
Your $100
announce this?
64 megabit cards.
Yeah, no. So they announced that they were ceasing cartridge production next year, which is also part of it. But they did announce that they are actually announcing like actual hardware
Sunsetting.
production. Yeah, sorry, sunsetting, stopping. Okay, not sunsetting. This is not a sunset. It's not beautiful. It's disturbing and terrible.
It's sad. It's
That's
pathetic.
Very
Is it-
pathetic.
I mean, that's fine. With the death of the Vita, that means they're going to stop updating the firmware, which means you just hack it and make it a decent.
It's already like you pretty much already can. You don't have to update
Yeah,
the
we're there.
firmware. There's no reason to update the firmware in a Vita.
Yeah, but
Zero reason. No games support. None of the games that have come out recently. No games have come out recently. But any games
no games have come out.
No games have come out, and if any games did coming forward,
The
they
last
wouldn't-
game I bought for Vita was Severed, and that's on Switch now. So
Last game I bought was a PS1 game.
I have a few games. I haven't turned my Vita on in fucking a long time. But anyways, it's dead.
Despair makes a good point. Transfarring.
Transferring.
Yeah. Can I just say something on that then? Because I have a story.
Absolutely not.
Here we go.
I agree with Brennan.
Grab it.
Go ahead, Deadpool.
Yeah. No, because that news hit. What day was that? It was like
Anyway,
this article was on the 20th, and the guy came in my store on the 21st,
Oh,
and I was like, he was like, hey, so do you have any new Vita games? And I was just like,
Just fucking laughed in his face.
I almost did for a second there because I was just like, what the fuck is this existence?
Vita?
What reality am I in? So I showed him the two that we had left, which was Danganronpa and Zero Escape.
Probably.
And
Yeah, probably
and
the
I was
last
like, yeah, and he's like, oh, what's happened? And I'm like, yeah, they're ending production. It's dead. And he's like, is there any chance it's gonna come back?
What year is it?
this is
You naive
this is
fool.
why I wanted to tell the story, because it gets crazier. And I'm just like, oh man, I'm like, well, the Switch and the 3DS exist, so like, it's not out of the realm of possibility of Sony never doing this again, but it's dead, man. And he's like, all right, well, I really enjoyed that Killzone game on there.
The game that came out at the release of the console?
Man,
And I
that's
was just
bad.
like it
Holy
was like,
shit.
because I was trying to sell him on the Switch after that and the 3DS, because like he wants handheld games, because and it's like all these,
He
there's got
wants his
Mario
fucking
and
Vita.
Japanese, and he's like, no, I really like shooting games. I'm just like,
Did he come out of like cryogenic freezing after like or a 2-year coma?
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser.
He went
from
into a
Watch the
coma
Past.
playing Killzone on Vita.
yeah, I'm just.
What a great system.
Oh
He
my
was
goodness.
really all about it. I'm like, yeah, like it's got Doom, and it's like, and it runs well. And I'm like, it runs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Wow.
It's got Doom and Wolfenstein too. So like,
That's
just
that's
it
something else.
was a trip to another reality in which the Vita did the best, and the 3DS is a failure, and Nintendo is crying. That's the reality I stepped into that day.
Clearly, jeez. All right.
Rest in peace, Vita. By the way,
Yeah, Rip Vita.
Yeah.
Another mech game, which I don't know. Did anybody post about this?
I posted that.
Okay. I thought maybe it was you, which did nothing wrong that.
It
with that.
smells a bit like me.
It smelled a bit like you.
That's a weird
Left
thing to say.
Alive, which is it actually like a front mission game or
Yes.
is it?
it's
Yes.
the developers is the important bit here.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It's
it's-
equal to Front Mission Involved.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's going to be a third-person survival action game with mech combat in it. So basically, a Metal Gear Solid game.
Okay, I'm a little concerned, just because like the last
Survive.
time we went down this road, we got Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah,
Yeah, Metal Gear Survive was terrible.
That one was
Okay,
made
fine.
half-assed. This one's not half-assed in the
Okay.
same way.
I don't know. I was looking at it and it looks pretty rough, and it's almost released.
Okay, yeah, because I saw
What
the
I was
initial
looking at
trailer.
did not look good. It
I only
looked
saw the initial
clunky
trailer.
and it looked kind of bad. Like
Mhm.
visually,
Wait, like, actually
it was
bad?
kind of concerning. Visually, it
Because
was
I'm
concerning.
kind of desperate for a game from these guys. I've been looking forward to something like this. Please tell me this isn't just gonna kill my hopes.
I
It might
hope
kill
not.
you.
They didn't spoil anything about the story other than it's going to be revolving around 3 different viewpoints, 3 characters, and it will be a mix between base infiltration and stand-up mech combat, which is really what I would be in it for.
Okay.
But it's real time, which the front missions haven't had a great track record with.
No.
Again, Evolved. It was okay.
Yeah, it just seemed to be a departure, and it's taking crib notes of other games, and if you're not improving upon it, you probably should stay away from it.
Has there been any other trailers? I'm not seeing anything because the last
No.
trailers. Oh, there was a trailer
Like 2?
in September 10th.
Yeah, the original and the
it's-
recent one.
Purely cinematic in nature.
And
I'm
I've
looking
only
for
found
the game.
conflicting info on when this game is supposed to be out. I think the initial release date was supposed to be October,
Right.
and then it was pushed back to November.
Which is
And
not smart.
when I
but
watched the press release that had the gameplay footage in it, they were talking about February 2019.
I would
That
say
would
late
be good.
2019.
I mean, that would be good for the sake of all of the shit that's going on at the end of this year.
Right.
That's-
That game will not be able to compete with any of the AAA.
Yeah, that's the thing, and this really
it's
this
just
is
not
the-
strong enough, unfortunately.
this reminds me a lot of everything that I hate to say this, but this reminds me of everything that I hate, and the reason why I hate Yakuza Dead Souls. It's a game that is plain a game. So it's a game from a series that is playing in a genre it's never played in before.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a trend of games that were coming out around the same time ish.
But not even. Like in this case,
no,
it's reaching back a couple of years ago, kind of like Fallout 76 is kind of doing. It's like reaching in the back pocket for 3-year-old game concepts.
Kind of like Dead Souls, Yakuza Dead Souls was. When
Yeah,
Yakuza Dead Souls came out, it was a zombie game that came out like 3 years after the
Rush.
zombie games were out.
Oh, you mean like that new zombie game that's coming out on PS4? That has the further we've gotten from its announcement.
Days Gone. I
versus
keep
its
forgetting
look.
that exists.
Yes. Oh boy.
I'm sure
But,
everyone
I mean,
has forgotten that.
It's not all doom and gloom here. Like when I was looking into it, the folks who are working around it are really excited and enthusiastic. That's not always a good sign, but they've got Yoji Shinkawa on art and design, so like that's
At
good.
least it'll look good.
Yeah, so it's basically going to be Metal Gear Solid, and let's just see how good of a Metal Gear Solid it's going to be.
I'll get it. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Stream it for us. Let us know, because I don't think I have the heart to put the money in.
I'll do it.
From what
I
I
mean,
saw,
I bought
like-
Survive specifically as a cautionary tale. I'll pick this up. I'll try it.
The human AI was really lackluster from what I saw. The trap setting was really basic. It looked really god-awful when they were just throwing grenades. You just had this weird hitbox that just hung out from 3 feet away from your body, and then, it was just kind of a mess.
All right. Well, hopefully it won't turn out as bad as we're figuring it's going to be, but
Maybe.
it's not great. But I guess sort of to finish with those sorts of topics, let's talk about a sad thing. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily.
It's a sad thing.
It's a sad thing.
I guess
It's a sad thing, even if you didn't like what happened.
Well, I think it's a sad thing that I don't think, considering what everybody has seen after the fact, it was a thing that a lot of people knew was coming, but I guess just didn't see it.
Nobody deserved it to happen the way it
Correct.
did.
Yes.
That is probably the best way to put it.
Yeah.
And that is, of course, on Friday. It was announced that Telltale Studios, makers of The Walking Dead and
Many other
Dead.
series.
and a bunch of other series,
Fables.
Sam and Max.
Wolf Among Us,
Wolf Among Us was
That's Fables.
A strong bads game for attractive people.
Tales from
Tales
the
from the
Borderlands.
Marvel
so
Guardians.
bunch of games is closing, just like fucking just straight up. In fact, so much so that they laid off 95% of their staff with no
With
severance,
no severance or anything.
no health benefits, no nothing.
And with no intention of completing anything they are not contractually obligated to finish.
of which is still not exactly 100% sure what that is.
Yeah, there's been
because-
no official confirmation on, but
Yeah,
like,
because like initially it was said, oh, they're gonna finish this season of The Walking Dead and
Then it was
and
definitely not
Minecraft
going
for
to be.
Netflix.
and Minecraft, and then it was definitely like none of those things, and it's like, so
Maybe Batman, because they're working with like the huge DC license that is like
No,
fucking
not
airtight.
not Batman. The only things that they have done right now is Minecraft for Netflix was like 50% done, and they were in talks with the Stranger Things, and that Stranger Things deal, when that fell through, the next day this happened.
Shit.
wow.
Did
Did
not
not
Yeah.
realize
they're
that.
done with Batman. Like season 2.
Batman
okay,
is
good.
Batman is not anywhere done. The Walking Dead season 4, the voice acting for that is complete. So
Yeah.
we don't know
So question
about that.
Yeah.
Like that's the
Yeah,
only one that
nobody's
if there
officially
was
confirmed anything.
the only thing that's semi-official was the voice actress for Clem was like,
She
yeah,
wasn't
so
sure. That's what she said.
Like, her story looked like she was saying at the end of, it looks like we're not going to be actually going to see it, and it sucks that you're not going to be able to see it. So,
yeah, no, that's
It's
rough.
super
and-
uncertain right now. If they-
we need a video game makers union, otherwise video games are going to die. In America, at
Western.
least.
no
Well,
video
yeah,
game
Western
makers are
games.
going to die.
That they are already dying. So,
yeah.
I mean,
So-
you know.
Companies don't
See.
care about you.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
no, they do not. Pay someone to care about you. not your
Telltale got mismanaged into oblivion, and it really fucking
Yeah.
sucks to see. And it's one of those things. like it feels shitty to say like we saw this coming when we saw these announcements for like unannounced Marvel property and Netflix deals and all this bullshit. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
we probably saw it coming, but that doesn't make it any better.
I imagine it's all of the licensing of the big third parties is what did them in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
it's-
everything we named off were licensed properties. Him and
Yeah.
Guardians of the
Walking
you
Dead.
I wonder how much fucking they had to shell out to get Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah,
Not as
Batman.
much as they
Yeah.
shelled out for Batman, which cost them a lot more and
Really?
hurt them much more.
Because Batman was
Batman-
the biggest flop they've put out.
Batman cost them so much because it didn't sell well, and it cost them the most to license more than
Which
anything
is a
else.
shame because it was a really good game.
The only games they made money on since The Walking Dead season 1 were Minecraft Story Mode and 7
yeah.
Days to Die.
All right, they published that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they actually published those statistics, which is actually really interesting to see because usually the stuff is going to disappear to the aether. You're never going to see it.
So in slightly positive news on this, the guy who was suing the company, the ex-CEO, he is still suing, which
Yeah.
doesn't sound positive until you consider the fact that he wants to take over the properties and keep everything running. So
That's
So
what
that's
he's
the silver
requesting.
lining.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, we'll see if that comes to fruition, right? Like, because
Yeah.
him saying that is one thing, whether
him
or
doing it
not-
is another. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I think it's a pretty fucking sad story, and it's unfortunate that this happened. And to be fair, there are a bunch of companies that came out and
Kind of
You
did the formula better. Like Until
Yeah.
Dawn is the best Telltale game they never made.
yeah, that's part of it. And I also think the one good thing was there were a bunch of companies that also came out after this news was announced. Like Ubisoft's San Francisco office is doing a lunch to try to recruit people. Like, so there are
Yep.
companies in that area that are thankfully.
And we
helping
talked
out.
about it already in this podcast. Like, friggin' Life is Strange 2 is coming out. So
Yeah.
that shit's still happening.
Yeah. In news of if you want to get the game before it gets pulled off Steam, Guardians of the Galaxy is on a humble bundle right now for $9.
Yeah,
So-
it's a
Very
really
good.
good bundle. Really cheap.
It's actually one of their better games, and yeah, it's $9.
I was surprised at how good the Guardians of the Galaxy game was.
Yeah, I think everyone was. We were not expecting one of their licensed properties to be actually that good. So
I heard it came out and it exited my brain for the rest of time.
Dude, literally, me and Dispenser found it for $10 at Target, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I like shitty games. I'll get this, and
yeah,
it was a very good story actually, and it wasn't quite as broken as Telltale games usually are.
yeah,
See, it's funny that the way that you're saying that, though, you're phrasing it very specifically, and that's, I think, part of the lesson to be learned here is like the games are not great. Like
No.
from a design, like they had some cool stuff in them, and when they first came out, they were something else. Like I remember when Sam and Max hit the road return.
Yeah,
And I remember how big of a deal that was. It was on the Wii, I remember.
yeah.
And that was really fucking cool. But the problem is they used the same engine for all those fucking games. Like, jeez, dude. Like,
Yeah, apparently that was another management problem.
Yeah.
Go figure.
but I think that was also like the reason they were doing that is so they could put it on everything, and it was on everything.
Yes.
But also that
The Telltale tool should have been retired so long ago.
only I feel like only people like us cared about that shit.
No.
No. People who didn't know anything about like the other end would go, "Why is my octa-core with a badass video card freezing on this simple little game? What's going on?"
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Why is
like
my Wii just stopping?
when me and Dispenser both played the Game of Thrones one, and like her save file just disappeared, like it just didn't work, and like
Jesus Christ.
and it's like, oh, okay.
That's the real Game of Thrones experience. Your save game just fucking dies.
Just been canceled.
Whoosh, gone. All right.
All right, so that's all the news that we're going to talk about this week.
Wait.
What?
Can I have
God, he
can I
wants
have
his
my
minute.
Pokemon Go minute?
Oh yeah.
This minute.
Oh,
1 minute.
All right,
Start the timer.
starts
Now.
Now.
So,
All right. They just put out Deoxys in the EX raids. They put Mewtwo in normal raids. He's still kind of a bitch to fight. Something happened after a community day on Saturday with there was a sprite they put out, a model. It's like a gray blob with a nut for a head, and nobody's confirmed what the hell it is, if it's a placeholder or not. But people think it is. But people just started calling it Nutto because it looks like Ditto with a nut head.
I never seen Nutto. Different context.
Chikorita Community Day was yesterday. Next month, it's already been leaked. It's Beldum, and Beldum shiny looks really cool. That's about it. There's regionals in the Alolan eggs right now. People send out your gifts.
and that's been your Nintendo Pokemon Go Minute, brought to you
Not
by
for now.
Cali. Thanks, Cali. You're welcome for the minute.
I need that. I need to vent about the game at least once a week.
No, that's fair. That's fair. All right, so that's all of those things. We're going to cover one more topic for the week, and then I think we'll kind of call it a night. So one thing that was announced, and I said it, and then I said that I would talk about it later, was the PlayStation Classic. Now, yes. Sony obviously seen everything that was successful about Nintendo's sort of jump at it, following Sega's lead of doing it, but then Sega actually did announce that they are not going to continue with the project right now. They are working on it, but they decided to find a Japanese developer to do the work. Because that game's a piece of shit, and Sega realized it because of the feedback that people told them they were a piece of shit. So that's good. But Sony did announce the PlayStation Classic, which is a $100 mini console that will contain 20 games. They have confirmed 5, including some pretty good ones in my opinion.
The tagline is like 20 of the most important, I think that was the word they used.
Sure.
So people are assuming some pretty marquee games are coming.
The one thing is they said important, and then one of these is a little on the odd side. So let me read through the 5 that were announced. There was Final Fantasy VII. Okay.
International
Tekken
edition.
3.
Nice.
Yeah, International Edition. Tekken 3, which
right, Tekken 3.
Cool. Wild Arms, which
game.
I'm pretty fucking
is a great game.
Really good game.
Yeah, pretty good game. Ridge Racer Type 4, which I think is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it's a good...
I want the JogCon, but Ridge Racer Type 4 is a fucking amazing game, and if you haven't played it, go fucking play it. I will let you borrow my JogCon as long as you don't break it. And finally, Jumping Flash. What'd you say?
Nothing.
What'd you say?
Is that a racing wheel? Is that what that is?
The JogCon. So the JogCon is it looks like an RC car controller, one of the trigger style RC car controllers. But there's a dial, and the dial actually has force feedback to the point that it stops you from moving the dial if your car is like moving too far in one direction.
So it has force feedback.
Yeah, so it has a really good amount of force feedback.
So it is like a transfibrator.
Why did I say to do this? I don't understand why I did this. Anyways, so there's 15 games left. So I'm gonna have everybody think of one game.
Mr. Mosquito.
But no, Mr. Mosquito is for the PS2. One game. Now, to be fair, you have to remember, these are not DualShock controllers. They are using the original PlayStation controllers, which is, I think, kind of dumb.
It's pretty dumb.
They'll probably...
I don't think that excludes that much, honestly, besides Apescape.
Metal Gear Solid.
I want fucking Einhander. That's what I want.
There's a bunch. Really? So anyway, I want everybody to come up with one game to put on their best PlayStation Classic they can.
Oh no, shit! I take it back. Einhander's great, but fucking Siphon Filter. That's what I need.
Yeah, I think that's a necessary one.
You do not have the DualShock.
No DualShock.
Siphon Filter is not playable without the DualShock. You need the DualShock.
Resident Evil is.
Resident Evil 1 is, but then they made a DualShock version of Resident Evil 1. Resident Evil 2 is not. Resident Evil 2 uses the DualShock. So my pick is actually another one of the launch titles, mostly because it has never been re-released, and that is the Raiden Project. because they've never fucking released it since then.
Right.
As far as I know. And that was like one of the best, like it was a fucking arcade perfect adaptation of Raiden 1 and 2, which is awesome. Like fucking great. I want a long box copy of it. It's on my to get list at some point. But it's never been re-released. So I think that is sort of mine because like it doesn't match any of the other games that are coming out. I kind of kept that in mind with my thought because like you have a fighting game, you have 2 RPGs, you have a racing game. So I was trying to think of some other ones. What do you got? Who's got one?
Toomba.
Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider makes
No. Toomba.
Toomba.
Oh,
Toomba.
Tomba.
Tomba.
Tomba. It's
No,
1-0.
Toomba.
Tomba.
No, Tamba.
Toomba.
Tombo?
Tomba.
Tomato.
Kunta Kinte.
Yeah, but no, seriously. No, but seriously, that game, yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Battle Arena Toshinden. There can be 2 fighting games. I don't care.
Okay, that's fair.
Also,
Great
my joke
fair,
answer would be
guys.
Mary Kate and Ashley
God bless the arena.
God bless the ring.
God bless
Get it
the
right.
ring.
God bless the excuse
God
me.
damn it.
Either that or annoying stick. That's what I want.
Ooh, annoying stick.
Irritating
That's a cool
stick, sir.
Irritating. God.
I had
Um,
that.
You
Had
only
that.
you old people remembering PS1 games.
It was a
I'm looking
game
at it
show.
right
Look at this literal child here, folks.
So a couple I was thinking of. Also, the original Persona.
Hmm.
Yeah.
'Cause that has barely had any releases outside of the original.
Parappa the Rappa.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
now.
No, but
That got a
just-
re-release.
Yeah, that got
recently, though.
remastered.
No,
Serious-
but
yes,
as,
sure,
as
but
one of the
That was broken.
games.
serious answer, Metal Gear Solid 1, because that's my favorite PS1 game ever.
But analog sticks.
No
son.
analog sticks.
You don't
Didn't
need an
it-
analog stick for Metal Gear
Nope.
Solid 1.
You could.
You need it
but
for the
you
vibration,
shouldn't.
for the Psycho Mantis
You need it
stuff.
for the Second Menace fights.
Yeah.
The sticks?
Although I guess you
Psycho
could play
Mantis?
you
The
could play it
vibration.
without, or not Second Menace. The torture scenes.
It was just
But I think
vibration.
you can do it without it. I think you can
Yeah.
do it without it.
You know,
so
yeah,
I guess
if
that's
Psycho
fine.
Mantis would even... Sure.
Yeah,
Or
he
maybe
did
he will.
actually mention that he can't do it to you because of that. Twisted Metal.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
Twist Metal would be good, yeah.
That's a
I mean,
Brave Fencer
the problem-
Musashi. No.
The problem with Parappa
Ooh,
and Twisted
great
Metal,
question.
though, would be music, I'm assuming.
not so much with Parappa, but yeah.
I didn't. With Parappa, they got the licensee already for it. I didn't think. Did Twisted Metal 1 have licensed music?
No, I don't think so.
I'm gonna Google.
Couldn't tell you.
I have to Google this. I actually don't know. I thought it was all like
Grand Theft Auto.
Ooh, the original Grand Theft
The
Auto.
original.
Not a lot of people
Back
like the
profile.
original Grand Theft Auto, but I like.
But it was
Yeah.
the start of a very popular franchise.
That is fair.
Do you think they'll use this?
profile.
Do you think
Maybe
they'll use
two.
the slot on Symphony of the Night?
Maybe.
Ooh.
I think that's a definite possibility considering the re-releases is coming out and a bunch
It
of
would be
these
a good
games.
one.
Oh, well, actually, you know what? That's probably why they wouldn't.
Well, I mean,
They're pushing that re-release, maybe. Possibly.
Yeah, but Final Fantasy VII is on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're okay. Well, that's true, but
Twisted
for the
Metal
remake
1
is also
all original
vaporware.
music, just for the record.
That's also fair.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to take a quick second because I read a lot of comments about how the price point was kind of people were really pissed off about it.
It's 100
And
for
It's 100
PS1
or
games?
120 for America's Hat, but
Yeah.
it doesn't include a USB to AC adapter, which is what you need to power it. You need to use your
Yeah,
own cell phone
Nintendo did
charger.
the same thing.
That I'm not so hung up about. People are really stuck on just 20 games for $100, and I would like to remind everyone who did not take elementary math that is $5 a
$5
game,
game.
which is fucking sick.
We also
Yeah,
live in
I
a
mean-
bundle culture.
Shit.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I
This is a
agree.
physical bundle. What?
Yeah, no, but I agree with exactly what Callie's saying though. Callie is saying we live in a bundle culture where people are expecting to get 20 games for $6.
Mm.
I'm assuming that's what you meant by that, Callie.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that, and I agree with that completely. I think that's part of the problem is you have that, and also like it's I mean it's $40. To be fair, it is $40 more than Nintendo's offerings, and Nintendo's offerings offered a few more games in one case.
Because
Okay.
they're smaller games. They're
No, I
physically-
know, I agree.
How about this? I got 2 games for you.
But you
Front
can-
Mission 3 and Warhawk.
Ooh, Warhawk.
Those
Warhawk
are
would be
certainly
cool.
games.
Those are
Open
games.
profile.
I think Warhawk would be a cool pick. Wipeout and Wipeout XL.
Ooh,
Every
that's a good
single.
one.
Can I?
Nice.
My one choice be every single PS1 JRPG ever?
No, because there's
No.
There were tons of
There's too
them.
many.
not all of them are
You'd
good.
run out of slots.
No, all of them are good.
No,
Final Fantasy
no.
Tactics.
Beyond the Beyond was pretty terrible.
Time. This is an intervention. I
So
have a
We
problem.
called you here today to talk about.
looking at, I don't think Twisted Metal
Every
had
single
a.
game.
I don't think Twisted Metal 1 had any
No, it's all original songs. I looked
licensed.
it up.
It's all original songs because
Which
they
you
have
could
3
apparently
composers.
listen to in the main menu.
Crash Bandicoot.
Nah.
So that was actually a conversation. I think a couple of other podcasts have made that conversation point where they're like, would you put Crash and Spyro? We can't do Spyro because Spyro was a analog stick game.
Yep.
But
No, you don't need it.
Crash, I thought you did.
Nope.
I had a camera. I'm pretty
No,
sure. the camera
it was
controlled.
with the shoulder button.
Oh, right.
Oh, was it? Okay, I
Yeah.
can't remember.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't play much of Spyro. I played a lot more Crash. I think Crash is a possibility considering it released. They released that bundle, and it would be one of those things where they could be like, "Look at where we came," and especially if their whole point with the classic is 20 games of the history of it, which makes sense.
Yeah.
It would make sense in that context. So,
I
yeah.
want some weird ones, some weird picks for. I know there's only 20 games, but
Yeah.
I want Wild 9. I want Oddworld. I want Bruce Willis's Apocalypse.
Ooh.
Honestly,
Fucking
you're never
Oddworld.
gonna put Abe's Odyssey on there. Why not?
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2.
Ooh.
Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony Hawk Pro Skater actually played that more with the D-pad than with the analog stick.
I
so,
did too.
The sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely be a super strong pick.
I mean, I have a feeling. So, like, to sort of wrap up the topic, I think we're gonna get a couple of really good ones, but then also them showing us, like, yeah, we're willing to put on Jumping Flash. Like, I think Jumping Flash is a cool game. It's not in my top 20 of all time when it comes to PlayStation games.
Yeah.
The PS1 was very good for weird games, and I think this would be a good time to highlight that.
Yeah, I think that's is probably going to happen. Hopefully, they hit more than they miss. Like Intelligent Cube would be a good one.
Intelligent Cube is pretty sick.
Oh my god.
When did the PS1 come out? That was originally
94.
was
1904.
94? Damn, bro. I'm about the same age as a PS1.
I was about to say you weren't born yet, were you?
yeah.
It was a beautiful time in gaming, and I think we've had a beautiful time tonight. So I'm going to use that as my segue into the exit. But I want to thank everybody for participating in episode 1 of season 4. Hopefully, we can make this last.
Don't call it a comeback.
Don't call it a
We've
comeback.
been here for years.
Literally.
Yeah, actually,
This is-
part of the reason I actually restarted this, if you guys didn't listen to me on the Game Brew podcast, which I posted in chat a long time ago.
They'll put them in the show notes.
It's on my to-do list, Brennan.
I would strongly give it a listen. I got to talk about us as a group,
How
and
dare you?
it was great. It brought back some great memories, but it made me realize how much I miss doing things with y'all sometimes, and I need to get back to streaming some more.
Mr. Driller.
Anyways, Mr. Driller, you can't stop Mr. Domino.
That's true.
Yeah,
Let's-
link that podcast, Bren.
I'll find a link and I'll link it.
Yeah,
But
I'll
anyways,
pin it.
so I'm going to call this podcast to a close. I want to thank Cali, Deadpool, Chibi, Rook, and TeaTime, who streamed for us
Yes.
this evening.
You're welcome.
I've been Brennan, and you stay classy, VGZ.
Nightmare
Oh, my,
Creatures.
I'm not ready. Oh, I'm not ready to do the thing. Oh,
God.
God.
No,
Oh, no.
OG.
Oh, no.
No, all right, there you
Have a
go.
good night.